Hey! Hello, everybody, and welcome to another exciting episode of Charisma Plus.
ASMR.
Yes, we've learned that in the previous episodes that when we go "hey" at the beginning, it's really loud, and it scares people sometimes. But hello and welcome. We thank you for joining us tonight. This is episode 34, I believe, and we skipped last week. We're all feeling fresh and recharged, and we're feeling good. So let's hop into some fan art first that you guys made for us. And we have there's been some meme stuff. Let's see, what was this one? This is Hamo's way of thinking. When you owe someone 100 gold, if you can't owe if you don't remember them.
Hey, I like that.
We got some more of these meme kind of themed ones. This all came from the same one, but we got Scribe's the better twin. Change his mind. No, that's not all. We got plenty of these. Let's see. Bring another one. Hamo's underrated character.
Change my mind.
We got Raynor needs more love. Change his mind. And then the last one we got, Ayo deserves better.
Very true.
Oh man, we got some fan art here.
Cool.
Let's see, it looks like Belle, and maybe it's a mix of another.
Amarantha Fate Weaver.
Someone else's character. Huh?
Awesome.
Yeah. It's a mix between us and another
Bard
game.
Party.
Yeah,
Oh,
the Bards.
The Bards.
The Bards.
Bar
Very
Bards.
nice. This is one of the ones we did last time. It's another mix between another game, but I don't think we got this one in.
Oh, that's legit.
Oh, that's right.
That's so cool.
Little Raynor, and she's.
That is an
I don't know what
awesome-
she's speaking.
Yeah, she speaks. She doesn't speak common.
Oh,
So like she speaks another. She doesn't speak any language besides what's on there.
she's so thick. Okay,
Oh, so you're about to
Look at it, yo.
look at you about to hit her with an icicle
it's like cocaine.
to the face.
Yeah, what's going on? She's already took a hit.
Whoa! We got Belle and all of her friends.
Oh, look at them all.
Yeah, got Henry and all the other ones. I don't even know.
Penelope and Marilyn.
So many. There's Heath.
I never wore T-shirts like that. I always wear like button downs and stuff like that. I swear to God. Whatever, Bullet Club.
Oh,
That's much
man.
later.
I think this is a. Did we get this one last time? I don't think so.
No,
Let's see.
man.
Let me put it. Let me frame it up right real quick.
Oh, it's the skeleton.
It's like, stop, meat bags. Have you seen this meat bag? It shows a picture of a guy. For a meat bag for the Great Ward Waxius. And let's see, who is this? This is Raynor talking. It's kind of small. Sorry, we're having to lean in real close to see. What does it say, Dan? Can you tell?
It says, wait, what the is that? ... Me? Better hide.
That's right. Raynor's got to hide, and then
Oh, he turns into Kenny. I didn't turn into Kenny. I turned into a guy wearing a purple shirt.
they'll never find me now. They'll never find me now. So yeah, they were looking for Raynor. Raynor's wanted for some reason.
I kind of want to watch the show. Plus Charisma, they got to be on Friday nights, man. I'm watching it.
There's a piece for Belle.
Oh, it's Belle.
Oh,
Yeah. And this is one more. I want to show it again. It's from our second show, Cursed, but I love it so much. Little Jan, yeah. Little Jan, the West Bastion boys. Oh, man. Thank you guys very much for the fan art. We appreciate it. If you have any art or anything you want to say to any of the cast, you can hashtag Charisma Plus on the Twitters. And also, speaking of that, I'm going to make a separate channel on YouTube for those of you that are watching the VOD and not live. Because why would you watch it again, right? You usually watch it on YouTube on my channel. I'm making a separate channel. And I'm going to start putting them over there because it usually ends up getting lost in all the other stuff on my channel. So we're going to give it its own home. So it'll be easier to find. And so, y'all, let's do a recap of the last episode. Does anybody remember? It's been so long.
It's been so long, man.
It's been a long time.
Sure, Mary knows.
So I think it started out, you guys were leaving Littlefort, right?
There's
Yeah.
a few characters in places that they shouldn't be.
Yeah.
Like me.
Like you?
Yeah, I shouldn't even be in Pearl's Reach.
Should you
Yeah.
not? Oh, yeah, okay. I was like, wait, did we mess up something on our continuity here? But no, okay. You're talking about how you were told not to return. Gotcha. What was the name of the little skeleton man you guys met? Mary, do you remember?
Old Nate.
Nate, yeah, you guys met Nate, the skeleton. He was on the side of the road trying to hitch a ride. He had a wanted poster that depicted Raynor, and he was looking for this meat bag. And Raynor's in the back of the cart, so he didn't see him. And you guys ended up killing Nate, but he told you of the great Lord Waxius that lived to the north. You guys took his equipment, which was just a short sword and a bow and some arrows. And he said, "You haven't seen the last of me," were his final words as his little ghostly apparition floated away into the sky. And so, yeah, you guys learned that there is a bounty on Raynor's head. You also
20,000 gold.
there was also a messenger that's coming by passing out the flyers about that same time, and you guys were able to read the rest. Nate's bounty that he had was torn off at the end, but it was put on by the Archmage. Archmage Stravus is looking for you. But anyway, you guys continue back to town, back to Pearl's Reach, leaving Littlefort behind, where your mountain of bones. You guys met basically an Arch Druid there and such. You guys got back. You didn't have much trouble getting in. There seemed to be a lot of ruckus in town going. A lot of unhappy people, as word that they are moving the body of the Holy Lady Sullivan, who is like a big mark. It's like pretty much this town's built around her monument, and the Temple of Helm is built in front of it. And it's like a place that it's like a holy place. People that are on what's the word I'm looking for? It starts with the P. Pilgrimage.
Pilgrimages.
Yeah, pilgrimage. Like clerics of Helm come there, seeking blessings, but they are moving the body apparently to the capital, into the royal burial ground. But the paladins are upset, the clerics are upset, a lot of the people are upset, but it seems that they're just going to do it anyway. Osran, you had a meeting with Titanbeard.
Yep.
You told him everything.
Everything.
Literally everything.
Titanbeard was angry. Someone interrupted your meeting, and he ended up throwing the dude from the balcony. The clerics healed him, though, of course, so it was okay.
He's smiting with a cup.
You guys, the rest of the party, you guys went back to the manor, Nathan's manor. You spoke to Nathan. He seemed a little deranged. There was a letter inviting you guys to a dinner with the Emperor. There was also a letter from Nicholas to Ruby telling her to leave town, which you watched in the direction she was going. She was heading to the north side, seemingly back to the vineyard. What else of note really happened in that episode? You guys met Rexford, the new butler. Talked to him a bit. Brucey was there, the dog. Oseron has lost his demon companion. It is now within the sign of Hymo.
Yeah.
Kalinor has not returned yet. He's still in a porcelain figurine. Anything else you can remember?
Yeah.
Oh, you sold the arena. That's true. You did. You signed some papers. You got a down payment. How much was your down payment that they gave you?
20,000.
20,000 gold. Yeah. You got some money. Did you trade in yours? You went to the bank and traded yours in. Yeah. You used the hat of disguise so no one would see you in town and recognize you from the bounty. Yeah. Just generic white guy, not a dragon elf. And what else? What else?
The Thieves Guild is, I guess,
Oh,
they're
yeah.
abandoned.
That's right. You went to where the Thieves Guild, like the base of their backup place they meet, and no one was there. It's been abandoned. But you pulled an elf aside and gave him warning in the streets, and he didn't seem that it was awkward that you did that. It seemed like he took your warning to heart.
So Ao, Azran, and Bell, after we met the skeleton, we began to feel thirsty.
Oh yeah, it's true. Yeah, you guys do have a strange. I mean, it's not. It's just like you guys just haven't drank enough water in the last few days. You're just kind of like you wake up in the middle of the night like, oh, so thirsty.
And
Odd though.
we learned that the bounty was made by the Archmage, and she wants him alive.
Yeah,
And it was only posted the morning
that
we
it's
left.
Very recent.
We also learned that Nicholas is now the Emperor's new advisor, and he is the one who is conducting the movement of Annalise
that's true. That's
Sullivan's
the
body.
reason that the Annalise's body is being moved is it has been advised by one of the Emperor's new advisors. As you guys know, Nicholas has been you guys have been gone for a week, And he's already pulling strings.
Yeah, and
What a guy.
also while we were away, Nathan and Miss Eve got married,
Yep, they did.
and dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, they got married. Like they were packing up to move out, go over to the vineyard after Nathan kind of freaked out over Ruby's letter from Nicholas. And
Ray
they-
said that he was going to meet up with the Doomsayer and travel a day's travel this evening
That's
to
true.
go see the leader of the Doomsayer's cult.
yeah. That's still they'll be looking for you if you still want to do that.
And then probably the biggest thing is the fact that there's the baby in the sky.
That's true. That's an important thing that I forgot to mention. As you guys were pulling back into Pearl's Reach before a lot of this extra stuff happened, you could see in the sky, like it's kind of between the clouds above the city. This the bottom, kind of the round is these I forget what it's called. The gyroscopic like movement of these
It's a
these
gyrating
bars
movie.
and these eyeballs that seem to be peeking down, and they're not rotating. They seem to all be kind of like offset a little bit, looking all keeping their eyes down on the city, and you can still see the baby burning in the sky, but it's quite a bit larger than you remember it being. And you seem to be the only one that's seen it so far.
Whoopee.
Yeah.
And so
Did you tell us about that?
No, I don't
Nope.
think you. I don't think you
Okay.
guys have.
he told Titanbeard.
Yeah, you guys
No, you
got
didn't tell
there.
Titanbeard.
You guys got there, and he went straight to
He did
Titanbeard.
because he looked
And
out the
told him
window and he
Spent
couldn't
that
see
time.
it.
I haven't told y'all yet because I haven't made that flip with y'all.
And you told Titanbeard about, it, and he like looked up and didn't see anything.
Yeah.
Um,
And Azron is currently down in the.
yeah, that's
Say,
the
oh, I don't know if you're still down there.
well, that's the thing. Though,
He went into the
here at
crypt.
the end. You got access to the crypt. Went down there and saw what was in there. You saw the tomb of Annalise Sullivan. You saw a large statue depicting the first emperor kneeled down. His hands are. It's kind of like he's holding something, but there's nothing there but a spear, the lightning spear that you guys remember seeing him actually wield in the past. You could feel like the room is filled with static, and you were dared to touch it by Titanbeard. But as you guys exited the crypt, the other thing of note in there was the pedestal that pretty much just sums up that Lady Sullivan gave her entire being to Helm, and it basically just like it was like a lay of claim to her from him in writing. As you came out, you could hear in the distance the announcement of the arrival of the Emperor, and he was being carried down his large golden steps up to the throne. The red, white, and blue petals just seemed to just appear in the sky,
Freedom.
falling down. And with him on top of the pedestal was the Archmage to one side, and then sitting down the steps in still his red robes, still Archmage red robes, Nicholas, and you could see that he was a black strap around his neck and wrists. Where was everyone at the end of the last episode? So you were with Titanbeard.
Yeah, I'm right there in the front lines. Maybe.
So you're still in the house?
Yeah,
Yeah.
a lot of us are actually still in the house.
Yeah, Belle and A
I
are in
am.
the manor.
I'm in a manor as well.
Where's Scrine?
I stepped out.
I think you're out in the courtyard,
Courtyard?
right? In the front. Yeah.
Where was Shay? I'm still in the house.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think everyone except for you're in the house too as well, I
Mm-hmm.
believe. So you're outside. You're out front. You are with Titanbeard. The other thing of note is that Ruby, after she got her letter, she immediately started walking.
She
out of town.
left.
You guys didn't see her physically leave, but she started walking that direction. So let's see if she's gone or not. And yeah, so I think I'm fully reminded of everything that happened last time. There were actually some things I forgot, so it's good that we did this in-depth rehash of what happened last time. So we'll start there with you, Oseron, as you see the Emperor. The 100 servants that are under holding this thing up are walking towards, and you can hear muffled grunts. They labor. This thing is. It looks like it's made of gold, so it's got to be quite heavy.
Yeah.
And I'd call it the courtyard, kind of the garden area where you guys are standing in. You're standing in front of the tomb of Annalise Sullivan, and the gates are open behind you, the steps that lead down, and the statue of her is behind you. And the soldiers have surrounded the place. There's also paladins. They've moved the rioters out into basically down streets between buildings to kind of break them up. And more soldiers are pouring in. The main thing that you would notice, aside from the soldiers, is that there's silver carts. And in the distance, you can see they have barrels stacked up behind them. And on some of these, you can see the burnt into the barrel Crimson Haze Vineyard. And they get closer, and Titanbeard stiffens, and he's ready to salute and greet the Emperor. And they step up and begin to place the Emperor down. As they kind of begin to work their way out, the servants kind of move out, and they go behind the steps as he sat on the ground. Looking up, you see the Emperor, and he stands, and he turns towards the people, and the Archmage holds her hand out, and his voice booming, and he begins to address the people. But you don't really hear that. Nicholas he's sitting down, and his hand is kind of over the side of his face towards the Emperor, and he's looking at you. But the look in his eyes, a familiar look you've seen before. The last time he lost it a bit, and at the vineyard, he's got this kind of devilish smile on his face. He's looking at you, and he roll a perception check.
11.
11?
Yeah.
Just looking at him, the sun is... What time of day was it last time? You guys, it's kind of still early, I guess. Probably past midday a little bit. The sun is over his head, and you can see a shadow kind of going down the steps a little bit. And it's just almost kind of like fuzzily moves oddly. It just kind of catches your eye as you look. You can't make anything out, but something weird was definitely there. And he stands up and begins to walk down the steps. Seemingly, the Archmage and the Emperor don't pay him any mind as he steps down, and his face goes back to a normal, welcoming smile. Oseron, how are you?
All right. How about you?
He kind of holds his hands out, and you can see the black bands that nullify magic abilities. He's like, could be better. And out the corner of the eye, you can see Titanbeard just like giving this guy the death gaze, basically. Just after hearing what you've told him, you can just imagine the things that's going through his head right now. And he kind of turns and smiles kind of sheepishly at Titanbeard a little bit. Oof. As your friends, it's okay. Be at ease. And then Titanbeard just kind of raises an eyebrow at him. And he kind of turns back and looks at the Emperor. The Emperor is given, you guys can hear as he's thaumaturging out, he's addressing the people, and he's basically saying that in a very political way, how he's trying to make it sound like it's a good thing that they're moving the body. He understands the people's plight and how that they may feel that this is wrong against Helm, but that she deserves to be with royalty. And he's making it, like I said, very, very politicianish, to where what he's saying is just to get you to kind of go with it. But he does a pretty good job. And the people, like you can see the people scrying as you're sitting out there, and you can hear this. They kind of relax a little bit, and he announces that he's through the generous contributions from the Hayes family that there's free drinks, and the servants begin to go and pop open and pull barrels down, and they start producing glasses of wine, and they start handing out. They start letting the people come around, and they're all kind of. Some people are still, obviously upset, but then it seems that a lot of these people have been bought over fairly easy, oddly enough. So you're still standing there, and Nicholas looks at both of you, and his smile kind of goes away a little bit. And how do you feel about what's happening, the movement of Lady Sullivan?
I don't think she should be moved to begin with.
He kind of looks over to Titanbeard. How do you feel? And you can see like Titanbeard's face begins to kind of go red a little bit. Like, well, I don't like it one damn bit. He kind of abruptly says it, but no one seems to be paying any mind as the Emperor continues his speech. And Nicholas kind of leans in, almost it's a whisper, and it doesn't seem to be directed at you. He seems to be speaking to Titanbeard, and he's like, well, "Where does your allegiance lie, with the Emperor or with Helm?" And he kind of steps back, and you can see Titanbeard looks. You can see the look of confliction in his face as he asks him that, and he kind of smiles and turns to you. How do you feel about it? Where does your allegiance lie with this? Kind of turns back over his shoulder, man. Or with and he kind of like points up that.
Got it. I don't know. I mean, I don't think we should move Miss Sullivan, but here we are. Why you want to move your wife anyway? Is this all your idea, plan? What's the point?
Well, I'm not the one that gave the order.
But you probably the one that gave the idea.
And you can make an insight check at this time.
Yeah.
And so can Titanbeard. Let's see.
21.
You've already heard that under the new advisement that Nicholas has requested that this happened. Titanbeard doesn't. He still has this conflicted look on his face. Is just things aren't as easy as they're not so black and white. He has his reasons, and it's his call ultimately.
His call, but not his ideal.
He just kind of looks off to the side a little bit. I'm sure he would tell you a different story.
Maybe you would.
And back in the manor, you guys are Raynor. You hear as he continues on about the good people of Pearl Reach, and you just kind of get this pain in the back of your head a little bit, and it's quite different from a headache. It's like a distant memory that you just can't quite grasp. And what do you do? Do you want to try to focus on whatever this thing is? Yeah, you do. You it kind of comes in quick flashes, but you seem to have memories, something you've forgotten recently. You remember falling through a portal into Littlefort, and then you think, well, how did I get there to begin with? And then you kind of remember leaving with the Archmage, and you remember Nicholas in the back in a cage, and you remember traveling all night and coming up to Summershade. And as you entered Summershade, you remember the guards escorting the cart in that you were on, and then a smile from the Archmage as kind of an energy ran through your body, and you lost consciousness.
What kind of smile was it?
Kind of a
Sexy smile.
kind of a smile of pity, almost. And then you remember waking up. Judging from the amount of time you were missing, probably not that much later, and you were sitting in a cell across from Nicholas. And as you remember kind of coming to, it seemed like strange shadows were moving in and out of his cell as he just kind of sat there, and you could hear him casting what seemed to be spells, even though he had this. You could still see the choke around his neck, and then you could feel one around yours as well. And as you kind of faded back out, you remember one of these shadow creatures kind of coming to you and handing you a parchment and a scroll, and you took it, and as you took it, you kind of held onto it a little too long and tore kind of the corner, and you looked at it. It kind of comes in a flash. As a little bit later, you woke back up. Nicholas was gone, but you looked at the scroll, and it seemed to be a teleportation spell. Looked a little damaged at the end, but just a little teleportation written in red ink. And then the next flash, you remember you are sitting kind of in a very wide open area. You can't see the walls, but there's this man in robes standing before you, and half of his face seems normal, familiar face that you saw in the mirror once around the time you guys traveled back and met Chambrios when he was captured. One of the mages, Morid, but the other have his face like saggy and slumped down, very zombie-ish. His like teeth hanging out and yellowed, and he's smiling at you, and you felt yourself chained. But then past him, you saw this
Oh. Hey.
hulking in the background in the distance.
Oh my.
And there seemed to be this kind of purple energy leaving this dragon and swirling around the bottom of Morid. And then also kind of a bluish tint coming from you. And you could feel like pain is like, it felt like your life force was being drawn from you. You don't know how much time passed during this, but you could feel, like I said, your life force draining. It felt more you were becoming more dragon, like he was taking off the surface of what was there, kind of letting out what was underneath.
Very painful.
Yeah. And you remember the Archmage speaking to him and him being quite angry and turning and talking to her. And while he was distracted, kind of a shadowy hands reached around you and into your robe and pulled out the scroll, enough time for you to cast the scroll, to which you were teleported into Littlefort. But you remember it being a very painful spell, like it kind of backfired a little bit, possibly causing this lapse in memory. And that all comes back to you in a rush quite quickly as you sit there.
Yeah, I stumbled backwards.
Quite a lot as you see this. Yeah. So, how? Yeah. Just all that coming back to you. What is Raynor's thoughts?
Still on my chair, on the floor. I'm conflicted because I once thought that the Archmage had put the bounty on my head to take me in. Now I really don't know why. And,
Yeah.
I go to the window to look out for her.
There you go. In the window, look out. Yeah. In the distance, you can see. It's not just a great far, not a great deal away, but you can still see her in the distance, casting the thaumaturgy to the Emperor as his voice continues to boom throughout the city. Yeah. Anybody else want to do anything particular right now as we're going through this? As you hear the Emperor goes on, it's like a 10-minute speech he's given as he's trying to coerce the people. And Asran, Nicholas still just kind of, he keeps speaking of loyalty to both of you between the Emperor and Helm. Just kind of, with your insight you rolled, it just seems kind of like he's attempting to lead you guys to make a decision almost.
Yeah. What does my allegiance lie? Maybe with him, maybe with the Emperor, but for the most part, I know it's with my family.
And he kind of smiles at that and shakes his head. Just out of the story wise, I can remind you that a long time ago, we covered a long time ago that, and just kind of like maybe a cool thing you guys could do this time, maybe not, but you can kind of share your perception through the ring.
Oh.
So if you think anything important is happening that everybody needs to see, then you're kind of able to do that. It almost comes kind of like you're daydreaming. You just kind of, like you guys were, I think it was like the first couple of episodes I mentioned it, but it never really came up after that. But yeah, so if while you're talking to Nicholas, if you're thinking that's like really important that everyone else should see, then you can definitely it's kind of works as like a concentration, like a spell. So you'll break that if you cast something, but or take damage. You'll have to roll for concentration. But other than that, you guys are able to do that. And you can also send thoughts like the flashback you had. You can send that. Like you guys are. It's all kind of like you're all mentally linked-ish. I just figured like that's something we've forgotten over the mini episodes. But anyway, so yeah, Scron, you are the one. You're outside. You're watching from a distance as he's speaking. Is there anything you want to do?
I'll just kind of sit back and watch everyone drink, I guess, the ale.
Yeah.
And Scron will also participate.
Yeah, and like they're like the servants, and there's more servants came with these carts, and they're just pouring out, handing glasses out. Make an insight check.
20.
To you, this seems like a very cheap diversion to try to like loosen the people up a little bit, and either it's almost like a gamble. Either they're going to get drunk and like start rioting in the streets, or there's going to be at least chill out long enough for them to do what they need to do. You know, it's kind of like it's almost silly to you, but because Crimson Haze is a very like
Top tier.
yeah, it's a very
Yeah.
sought after drink. So like a lot of these people, like especially like the peasantry, you may call them, they're the ones that are also more angry, but they're more like, yeah, okay, well, let's see what he has to say and drink this, and of course they pass you they're handing out like wine glasses, like very nice crystalline wine glasses. They're not giving out wooden mugs. They seem to be kind of whining and dining people ish, but
All
you
right.
know.
If I look around, does it look like it's kind of taking the edge off of the people around?
Oh yeah.
Like no
yeah.
one's really just like angry right now.
Actually, I
or-
probably should roll one more time. Let's see. Yeah, it's actually it's working pretty well.
Okay. Nice. Wow.
There, like you said, you can still hear some people yelling out while the emperor is speaking, and they're quickly removed. Like a guard will go and grab them and take them away, and they seem to be like plucking out people that are still
Angry.
angry. And they seem to be very much micromanaging this crowd.
Okay. I'll kind of look around and. Well, looks like who knows what's going on here? I'll take a drink as well.
Yeah, and like that.
So
It's a very modest servant. Like what they have trays out with just drinks on. They're just kind of like handing it. People just like reaching and grabbing them, and they'll make one. They'll come by you if you walked out there into the crowd. They're like just going through the crowd.
yeah.
There's more than enough. They're just pouring and pouring.
Cool. Well, I'll definitely just grab a glass, and then I'll kind of make my way back kind of towards the house and just
Yeah.
kind of watch from afar.
Give me a I imagine as you have the glass, you'll kind of like be looking at it. So give me like give me an investigation check.
8.
8. It's kind of a
I
He
rolled a
looks
9.
fine.
Yeah.
it's kind of a the color of it is slightly different. Like it looks a little darker than usual. That's kind of all you get. But it just kind of like looked a little odd to you. Maybe it's older. Maybe it kind of reminds you more of the version that you got while you were in the vineyard, like the stronger version.
Oh, good. Well, that's exciting. I'll definitely. Scran will definitely start sipping on it
Yeah.
and just kind of.
Well, as you taste,
Sit back.
it doesn't have the same kick as that one had. It still tastes like the normal Crimson Haze you've had before.
That's strange. Does it still have the good flavor though?
It still has the same flavor, just not
Okay.
that same alcoholic kick that
Gotcha.
a dwarf like you would enjoy.
Hmm.
It's not Papa Keg Finger's special brew.
Oh, I thought this might be the good one. I'll just kind of, yeah, like I said, I'll just kind of make my way back to the house while sipping and
Okay.
watching from afar.
All right. Is there anything of note that anybody else wants to be doing right now?
What's Nathan and Eve doing?
You can still hear upstairs in the distance. You still sounds like there's well, there was before he started speaking. You can still hear them packing up, and then it's kind of stopped, and they seem to be just your guess, possibly just listening. Hey, where are you at right now? You're in the house.
Are we downstairs?
Yeah,
don't
we
remember.
were looking out the window at everything that was going on.
All right, yeah, we're trying to watch out. I'm gonna turn to Belt and say, "Did you hear the excrement that the Emperor was saying? They want to move the whole reason this town was founded,
Yeah, and
and
none of it actually makes any sense, but I feel like there is a great evil that's about to happen here at the
I don't-
moment. The crowds, how quickly they swayed, everyone was fighting and protesting seconds ago, and now all of a sudden they've been sated with drinks and cheap words. I don't feel comfortable.
It's odd.
The situation is definitely has an odd feeling to it.
And I'm thirsty.
Pretty thirsty too. It's weird.
I guess one thing of note is that there are elves in the crowd, like a couple of nicer dressed elves. You think some that maybe work for the nobles or have moved up on their own since things have changed. But the majority of the north side, there's not really. They don't seem to be very concerned with what's happening. You can still see people looking like way off in the distance, like elves, like maybe if a window, they pop their head out and look, but they're not clamoring to the streets as the humans are, and the dwarves, the few that are in town. Ao, you would be able to see. Let's see. Does anybody have passive perception like 18 above?
At 20.
Yeah,
17.
17. Ao, in the distance, you can you definitely see Ruby is out in the crowd, and she's watching, and you can see she's looking in the direction of Nicholas. She's pretty far out there, but you're familiar enough with her to pick her out.
I'm gonna back away from Belle and go out the door.
Okay, get out the door.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Head in the direction into the crowd towards her.
Ruby.
Okay. All right. Yeah, it'll. You may lose in the crowd a little bit, but we'll get to that.
Okay.
I guess as you can see her in the distance, you kind of where they are. It's just a little lower. You kind of up on a little hill, and you can see that she's standing there, but she's like slowly making her way through the crowd towards the center, where you would guess old Papa Nicholas is hanging out.
I'm gonna hang toward the north side a little bit.
All right.
Kind of keep an eye on Ruby as well.
Yeah. Oseron, back to you as all this has been going on. You're listening, and the Emperor's, and he's been 5 minutes. He's been giving this goodwill speech to the people about the prosperity of the town and such. Nicholas hasn't said a word in a little bit, and he just seems to be kind of looking at Titanbeard and just kind of with a smile. And Titanbeard's just kind of looking back, but you can see Titanbeard just like his mouth kind of mutters like he's speaking, but not aloud, like not out loud.
Yeah.
And then Nicholas will kind of like his head will kind of go to the side, and he like smile. It's almost like you're just watching someone like in the mirror, just kind of like smile at themselves. It's weird, but you, with your experience in these kind of things, you would think possibly that they're having a conversation they're not involved in.
Yeah.
As the big giveaway would be that Nicholas kind of like points a little bit, and a cantrip you've seen before.
Message.
Yeah. And he kind of like he'll just kind of give kind of say like a strange word that you're not familiar with, and then they'll kind of continue as there's a spoken in, he has actually cast a spell,
Yeah.
But it doesn't seem that he's being hampered very much by all the stuff that's on him. And the Emperor's speech comes to a close, and he smiles, and he actually gets, he gets kind of a mixed response from the crowd. You hear some people cheering, and then it's not quite as loud as he would like, as he kind of like looks at him in his younger. He's not his old self anymore. He's quite younger. But yeah.
I'll chime in. Oseron,
Yeah.
are you in the middle of all that?
Yeah.
What's going on?
A lot.
All right. Well, I mean, can you give any details?
It looks like they're about to move Miss Sullivan one way or another.
I heard
Willingly
a little.
or who knows?
I only heard a little of the Emperor's speech, but it sounded like a crock of shit. And
It
all these
was.
people seem to be eating it up.
Yeah, that's what happens. Give them a little alcohol, talk nice to them, then there you go.
They handed out alcohol.
Yeah. I haven't tasted it. Don't want it. Don't care for it. But some people are eating it up. Some people are against this. But I don't know. AO. It's just right now, I don't like any of this. I don't know.
Yeah. I got a bad feeling too.
Yeah. Where you at right now?
I headed toward north side.
Yeah. just be ready for anything, just in case a fight or war breaks out. Who knows?
Yeah.
What's everybody else at?
I think they're all near the house. We should probably all meet there.
I think I kind of want to stay here just a little bit longer.
Okay.
And,
I want to take a look around too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
be careful.
Are you trying to hit him to use the ring? That conversation, the Emperor has he's begun stepping down the steps, and the Archmage is close by him. He steps down, and Nicholas is still just kind of looking at Titanbeard, and the Emperor kind of pokes a head around. Hey! Scran?
No. Oseron Keg.
Ah, Keg, that's right, Kegfinger. And and he kind of gives you this uncomfortable greeting, and you can see behind when he stepped down, there's several people that seem to be coming out with different tools and such. Seems to be like kind of stonework, like they're planning to carve out, or if needed be. Some of them have kind of wooden, kind of what you see like. There's two pieces of wood with like cloth in between. Like maybe they'd put something in there and carry it out. Maybe a stone. You're not too sure. But the Emperor's like, well, let's get this over with.
Sir, can I ask why you're moving Miss Sullivan? She's been here for years. The whole town is built around her. Why move her now? She's been here for centuries.
You not hear my great speech that I just gave? Titanbeard,
Yeah.
and he kind of like, and Titanbeard kind of like snaps and looks and salutes. Is it? You're a man, right? And Titanbeard's like, oh yeah. And he kind of starts to speak, but then you can see like a realization, and he kind of gives like this almost his old voice, but not quite. And he just kind of stutters out as he seems to be kind of caught off guard. And the Emperor just like puts up a hand. That's fine. Come on, let's go down here and see this. And he begins to walk down, and Nicholas and the Archmage follow, and Titanbeard turns, and he kind of gives you this sideways glance and raises an eyebrow, like motions for you to come on.
Sure, why not?
And yep, you guys begin to step down, and the Emperor's commenting like, "Oh, look at this! Oh, what do you know about this stonework?" And he kind of like looks back at the dwarves. Yeah, it's nice. Yeah, humans did this, right? And you can look at the stonework. You can roll a few history check if you want.
Did they?
Did they? 15.
It's pretty good for human standards. You think the dwarves could do a better job?
Obviously.
Yeah. You can see kind of like with it's kind of an offset where it comes to meet together, and the stone is leaning down and just sloppy.
Trash.
Yeah, they descend. You all descend down to the bottom. And Nicholas, he stays kind of close to you and Titanbeard, and the Emperor steps out, and he kind of rubs his hand over the stonework. And the Archmage, she steps to the other side of the room, and none of the servants have followed down yet, but they seem to be waiting at the top of the stairs. And the Emperor just kind of looks around, and he has this look on his face of like, he kind of gives a big sigh, and he looks up to the spear, the golden spear. And then you can see the electricity sparking around it. And he kind of like scratches the back of his head and turns to Nicholas like, But he has this look on his face like he really doesn't want to do it. But Nicholas is kind of like, well, this is what you wanted. You wanted to move Lady Sullivan. It was your idea, right? And he kind of like gives you a wink.
Yeah, Emperor, about that. What was the deal You get back your youth and then move Lady Sullivan? Was that the deal?
No, everything in this kingdom's mine. My youth is my own. It was owed to me by the, and he kind of looks over at Nicholas, the first archmage for his position. And you can roll insight check.
10.
10. Well, even with a 10, just from everything that you've heard and through talking to Nicholas, it's through Nicholas say that ask him it's his idea. It seems that the Emperor's ego may have gotten in the way a bit.
Yeah.
And it's just even the way the Emperor walks. He walks like he's just the shit right now.
Yeah.
Like his youth that he's wearing when he used to be 90 years old, now he looks like he's like not even 40. He's like, stand back. This dude is hot stuff right now. And he kind of like rubs his face a little bit. Ugh. All right. And he walks around and he's standing in front of the statue and he's kind of looking up to it. And he takes a step up to there's some steps that kind of lead up just slightly in front of the statue. And he kind of steps to the side and reaches up. And you can kind of see his face like he's like flinching before anything happens. And he grabs the weapon and you can see like his body jumps and his hand shakes a little bit as it seems he's touching it, but it's not pleasant.
Yeah. And
he pulls it down and he's kind of and turns around and his eyes like give off this white light and it's no longer any pupils and like even from his mouth it's kind of a white glow. It's like a light bulb just came on inside his head. And he kind of goes, "Whoa, that's weird." But his voice kind of like has this weird wavy echo through it. And he steps to he starts stepping towards where you guys are, which is like kind of the head of where Lady Sullivan's buried. And on top, you can see kind of it was like kind of a slot. You saw it before, but it just kind of looked like it was part of the art. And he takes the spear and turns it upside down and sticks it into the stonework. You can kind of hear a rumble as he pulls it back, pulls the spear back out, and the top of this, I wouldn't call it sarcophagus, but this burial tomb kind of slides over to the side, and the Emperor, he's kind of wobbling a little bit. And he kind of just collapses to the side and drops the weapon. And the Archmage runs over to him, and Titanbeard kind of looks surprised and reluctant to walk closer to the spear, but is looking, and Nicholas just kind of smiling, looking ahead. What do you do?
Drop the spear, right?
He dropped the spear, but you can still see the glow of energy coming from it as it kind of rolls from his hand over to the side.
Walk over toward it.
Yeah, going towards the spear.
Yep.
Yeah, as you do, Nicholas kind of gives you a kind of gives you like. As you're walking to the spear, the like I said, the top kind of comes over the side and kind of a large clunk to the ground as it falls off onto the ground. It doesn't break or anything, and kind of a light glow comes from inside. Can't see anything in there yet, but yeah. So you're walking towards the spear and where the Emperor is.
I look at the spear, then I look back over at the tomb. At the spear one more time.
Yeah.
And then I walk over to the tomb.
Yeah, you walk over.
Yeah, walk over.
Okay, yeah, you walk over and you can step up and you want to look in.
Yeah.
And it's kind of as you look in, you can see it's a glass. It looks like a glass case. Maybe not glass, but kind of crystal, but you can see through it. And inside a Lady Sullivan lays, and she's not decayed. She looks completely preserved. And she's has a white dress on. And flowers across her chest, and the flowers are still in bloom. And almost looks like she's the color is drained from her face. Just looking at her, you would still say that she's dead, but she has not decomposed in the 1,000 years that she's been here. And it's kind of like the glass cases and just begins to kind of rise up. And pushes out a little bit of kind of blue smoke around, kind of flows into the room. And the smoke kind of begins to kind of fill up the floor of the room to where it's like probably below your ankle. You can't see, and you can still see like the Emperor's large shoulder pads and like his chest above there is the Archmage. Give me one more insight check. See how well you can read the room.
14.
14?
Yeah.
She doesn't seem as concerned for the Emperor as she has before. You feel like just from meeting her before, she would like quickly ran over there and like quickly tried to help him, but she seems to kind of like walk over and kind of look at him and like get down and like pick his head up and kind of look at him. Then she kind of looks back up at Nicholas, and if you look at Nicholas's face, he's still you can see like a tear going down his cheek as he's looking at Lady Sullivan's body. He kind of walks up to it and kind of a shaky hand touches the case lightly. He just kind of nods his head a little bit. And through the smoking, you still see like this golden glow from where the spear is setting. And what language do you speak?
Just coming in Dwarf.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nicholas, he kind of looks up at this statue of the first emperor, and he says something. I'm not making you roll. I make my history check though.
7. Jesus.
7? Okay, he's speaking a language and you don't seem to, it doesn't sound like anything familiar to you, and he kind of says it towards the statue. And as he does, you see, you hear it audibly. There's a crack that goes across the face of the statue. And Nicholas kind of raises his eyebrows a little bit and then laughs. Kind of a chuckle to himself. And he walks to where the Emperor is laying and kind of gets down on one knee and looks up at you. And he looks up at Titanbeard, and he reaches down with one hand and grabs the Emperor by the throat and very, very visibly begins squeezing the throat of the Emperor.
Alright, yeah, I guess that's where that question comes from.
Family of Titanbeard.
Yeah.
And Titanbeard sees this too, and Titanbeard doesn't have the reaction that you're expecting. He doesn't pull hammer out and begin to fight. He just kind of stands there and watches, and you can see kind of he still has a conflicted look on his face, but it's almost as if he's kind of accepting what's happening. And the Archmage stands up to the side, and she just looks down as Nicholas is doing this.
Just want to yell over to Nicholas and what are you doing?
Should have been done a long time ago.
Do what? Kill him? For what?
You gotta end the line. There's nothing good that's come from this man or that lineage, as he kind of looks towards the first Emperor statue.
What do you mean nothing's came from his lineage? Everything.
This world's built in blood and war.
So blood for blood, is that it?
Sometimes that's what you have to do. As you can see, like the blood begin to pool in the Emperor's face as his mouth is kind of open. He's unconscious, but you can still see his body's naturally reacting to try to be able to breathe.
Yeah, pull my sword out then.
You do?
Yeah, I'm finna go swing on.
All right. You pull your sword.
Why don't you just take the shoulders? That's all you have to do. Just take the damn shoulders.
You pull your sword, and Titanbeard will pull his hammer and stand between you. And he has the look on his face is, you can just tell without even rolling any insight that he's having a hard time with this, but it seems he's made his decision as well.
Get out the way, Titanbeard.
Stand down, lad.
I'm not gonna let this happen. This is just murder.
And he repeats words back to you that you heard. He repeats words back to you, and they kind of like, they don't seem like his words. And he's like, "Where does your allegiance lie?"
With my family, first and foremost.
See, not your family, as he nods back towards Nicholas. You wear that ring.
Then I'll take the ring off then.
You take it off.
Yeah.
Throw it to the side.
Yeah.
All right.
Swing on him.
Swing it, Titanbeard.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Oh, boy.
Well, we'll instead of like rolling an initiative, we'll just, you go first, and then we'll play this out.
All right.
Roll to hit if you want to try to hit him.
I'm gonna try to hit him.
Yeah.
It's gotta get like what, golden armor? Gives an aura or something.
He hasn't really. I mean, he always kind of has this natural glow to him, as do you. But he doesn't seem like he's serious or anything right now. But he is in your way.
Yeah, go to him.
All right.
Man, that's pretty good. 28.
Oh, yeah, you hit him.
Yeah. All right. Oh boy.
Remember that time you hit on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Finna hit him with smite at the third
Just,
level.
just roll it all. You hit him. Hit him all.
Yeah.
Throw it at him.
Yeah. 7, 9, 10, 10, plus, 18, and 3d8.
Hey, dang. How's it feel to not be a
8.
twin?
Now a single brother.
27. 27 on the first hit.
Swinging again.
Yep.
All right.
Oh. 16.
That does not hit. All right. So you swing him twice.
Yeah.
All right. Let me see here. So we was talking about before this game started, there's going to be like a situation. And this is the situation, guys. So, yeah, you hit a blow, and you what level of smite did you use against Titanbeard?
That was level 3.
You hit him with the big one, okay, and 27 damage. All right, Titanbeard takes it, and it's almost in stride. I mean, you feel like you landed a good hit, and he with this two-handed hammer swings back. Like the first one misses you.
Lucky.
And the
Lucky.
second one.
No, he missed. He will. Dodge.
24.
Yeah.
I don't think you guys get 3 attacks. Do you just 2?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, it's 2. All right.
I don't know.
He's on the level, I think.
He hits you, and he's smiting as well. I mean, but
This might be
even him hitting you before the damage is even done, you can feel like he's not trying to just smash you to the ground. It seems like you can just see it in his face, like he's not angry at you, and he just kind of has this look like he understands. But he hits you, and let's see.
Holy shit.
All right,
Yeah, I'm not fighting Titan.
all right. He hits you for 53
Yep, definitely not fighting that motherfucker.
as a big hammering blow lands in your chest. The room kind of
Yeah.
goes white, and every time your smites land, kind of like the fog in the floor just kind of blows up against the walls and settles back down the room.
It ain't even my fault. Yeah.
And at the end of that round, you can see Nicholas is looking at you, and he's kind of held his hand out towards the Archmage, and she's placed a dagger in his hand. And then he hasn't done anything yet, but you can definitely tell the intent is to speed up this process.
Yeah.
Before you die.
And the perception check.
12.
12? Okay. Even with that. There's something in this book right now? It's in the way here. Okay. The room goes darker. Like the sunlight coming from the entrance seems to just kind of just go off. Heath, from the outside, you can see just kind of like this black shadow has just kind of covered the entrance. And you don't hear any of this fighting that's going on down there. But yeah, just the two torches, the ones leading down are still giving light off, and the two that are on each side of the tomb, and even kind of where Lady Sullivan is herself kind of gives off a glow, and you can still see, like even a human can still see well in here, but it noticeably goes darker.
Yeah.
And your perceptions are just like 20 anyway.
Passive,
So
yeah.
even
What were we doing, by the way?
all right, there's two things. Your passive perception, the shadow that's kind of covered over the doorway, it's not like a flat shadow. It's kind of like, it looks like there's a bunch of people standing in the way. You can see they're all kind of like, they're trying to cover the door. And just kind of glancing at it, it looks just kind of like a full wall to your average person. But you can definitely see like kind of the outlines of like these shadow people. And like kind of pointy fingers. You've seen them before in the vineyard. They seem to be blocking off the door. And you can hear there's a couple of mumbles in the crowd of like, oh, like Helm's Wrath. They shouldn't be doing this and such. And like people are like, ooh, something's happening. Ruby, there's still a circle of guards that are keeping everyone out from the center, and the workers that are out there kind of step back in confusion and look. Ruby is watching. She's like the guards are standing between her, but she's peeking through. You can see her face as she's short, peeking through kind of the arms of him, and she's looking like a raptor gaze directly at it. And then you came in from the north side. She did too, actually. So you're probably not very far away from her. You can like probably look over and see her. Like she's probably like 20 feet away from you.
Gonna sneak toward her.
Yeah, if you wanna roll a sneak, you can, or if you just wanna like. Okay.
17 plus 14.
31.
31. Yeah.
Okay, cool. And you're able to, what you think, very successfully get behind people and just kind of sneak your way around. It doesn't seem anybody, even the people in the crowd don't notice you until you like brush past them and they kind of look. And you're heading her direction?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. It was one round, but does anybody else want to do anything? You're outside. What's your passive perception? I mean, this is pretty obvious. Like this whole thing that suddenly, which direction are you looking from though? Let me think. Which way is this face? It faces, you're actually kind of on, let's see, it faces towards the shore. And you can't actually see the door cover up, but you can definitely hear the people getting confused and the people kind of stepping back, like something may be happening.
Okay, towards the
Yeah, it's like the
tomb.
The tomb, yeah. On the other side, you can see people's faces get confused suddenly, and kind of the rabble in the crowd start speaking up.
I'll see that, and I'll use the ring. Guys, something strange, I think, may be happening near the tomb. I think we should check it out.
No shit. Let's go.
And I'll wait for whoever's in the house.
Yeah. She's there, but I don't know what she's doing. I'll go for sure.
Okay. Well, when Raynor comes out, I guess we'll start heading that way.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah,
I'll look out at it.
yeah. And like this is still kind of happening in turns, so it's all going pretty quick.
Yeah.
We'll go back. Oseron.
Yep.
Yeah, Tightbeard he's still standing. He hit you pretty hard, and it was a full. Like I said, it's not he's trying to kill you, but he's definitely not completely holding back. You feel like he hit you like with what he would regularly like.
Yeah.
He meant to hit you.
I'll use heal on hands.
Yep.
Yeah. Put back out 45. Yeah.
Lay on hands.
Yeah, lay on hands.
Yeah. How many points you give yourself?
45.
Yeah. Is that your maximum pull?
Yeah.
Okay.
All
All of
back
it.
at 92.
All right. Yeah. Go back up, and that's
Yeah.
your action to do that.
Yeah.
All right. Any bonus action? Anything you want to do?
Attack him.
All right.
Can't.
Can't with a bonus action, unfortunately.
I think it's an action. No.
No,
Yeah.
lay on hands is action.
Yeah, I think
Lay on
it's
hands
for
is the action, and
Yeah.
you can still do like bonus action. Well, does lay on hands count as a spell? If you got cantrips,
No,
bonus action
lay on
cantrips,
hands
you can
is
do.
just. It's like a spell, but not.
Well, it'll say this. If you have
ability.
bonus actions, you can do. Yeah, like
It's,
you can try to move past him if you want to. You can drink a potion, like do any small movements kind of stuff, like what am I trying to say? Actions.
yeah, it's
like
just
free
an
actions and
action,
such.
Yeah, so,
But attacking him right now after healing yourself, you cannot.
Yeah, it's just an action.
Yeah.
It's not like a.
Yeah.
Doesn't seem like it counts as a spell from what I'm reading.
Okay, well, that's fine. Like I'm just saying, if you have a
It's just an ability thing.
yeah, so if you have like a spell, a bonus action spell, you could cast, but it has to be bonus action.
Yeah. I don't think haste is.
I think you can mark maybe as a
I
bonus
can
action.
mark him. Yeah, I can. Yeah, I can use a hunter's mark.
The concentration spell that you use to give you 2 AC.
No, that shit fail.
Yeah.
I want to say haste, but I can't remember if haste is bonus or not.
No, that's a.
Yeah.
It's an action. Yeah, a lot of other ones are just all action.
So are you wanting to like take an offensive kind of spell or anything? Aside from you
I'll
casting a
cast
spell,
a blinding smite. Yeah, I just use blinding
prepare a
smite.
blinding smite.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's a bonus action.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, you can. Your sword begins to kind of glow with this white glow, and then Titanbeard, he kind of takes a defensive stance. He doesn't attack you again, but you can tell that he's he looks like he's holding an action.
Yeah.
Or has chose to dodge or something. He has a defensive stance. We'll leave it at that. And well, that's that round. And Nicholas has the dagger in his hand, and he still has the Emperor by the neck. The Archmage, she just kind of scoffs and says, "This is taking too long." And Nicholas will stand up, and you can see the electric fingers are coming up. She's I want to say that Nicholas won't be able to she doesn't do anything yet, but you can definitely tell that she's about to hook the Emperor up. And Nicholas kind of backs out of the way.
Yeah.
And he's just kind of been looking at you the whole time. And he just kind of stands up and just still kind of watching you with this smirk on his face.
All right.
Well, just kind of like a knowing smirk of like, you almost get the feeling of he's like, I expected as much.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll go back to Ao. You move towards Ruby, and you've successfully been able to sneak up behind her. Anything you want to do?
Yeah, I'll yell out to her.
Yeah.
Ruby, what's going on?
She kind of like jumps a little bit and like turns and looks towards you, and she doesn't give you an answer, but she does look and like see you. And you gotta have like you can throw a couple more sentences out there if you want to during the turns. It's fine.
No, I was just gonna watch to see what she does.
Yeah, and she looks at you, and then she just kind of turns back and continues to look. And you guys are moving out of the house, moving in that direction.
Me and Scrine is.
Yeah. You guys, I guess you went through the ring, so you're already outside and you're waiting for him.
Yeah.
And you're able to come out the door, and you guys can begin heading that way.
You didn't go up?
I just looked up.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So yeah, we just had to start heading.
Yeah, you guys start heading that way. Belle, anything you want to do?
No, she's staying at the house.
Yeah,
in case Nathan
I think
needs
you
help.
heard the ring, but other than that, you're kind of don't have a complete grasp of what's happening.
Yeah.
And neither do you, Himo. Lasran.
No.
Yeah, he's you can see that he's taking this defensive stance. He's watching you. And what do you do?
Go to swing on.
Yeah, go ahead.
First I'm gonna miss. It's just a 4. I ain't even gonna add the rest of that. Second attack.
Yeah.
4 again.
All right.
Yep.
And he successfully just easily parries both of your attacks. And again, he doesn't attack you. He just takes the same defensive stance and he's watching you.
Yeah. Okay.
And at this point, the Archmage goes down with both hands and puts them on the Emperor. And you've cast lightning before, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And this is a thunderous bolt echoes through the room as she hits the Emperor with this. It don't even matter. And you can just tell from like the skin of the Emperor that he's fried. She fries this dude on the spot.
Yeah.
And you can hear come from him as maybe he's dead, but she just hooked him up. I need to do it right. Just give me 1 second.
All right. Roll out these dice.
I'll just swap them out real quick.
Yeah, sure. That D20 over there.
Just gonna keep rolling. And we'll be back after 5 minutes.
This is like I said, this is
Like a level
you haven't
8.
heard
Moving on.
Raynor's popping off like this.
What you trying to say?
This seems to be a pretty I think he's actually gonna live. I need to roll. We got
God.
all right. And whew, damn. All right. So she definitely lets out a large bolt on this dude, and even like it kind of it blows the smoke on the ground up, and the lightning even kind of trickles across the ground a little bit. And just from a quick glance, the Emperor, he's definitely got darkened skin. You can it looks like he's taken a lot of electrical damage, like his skin's burned, but you think he's still breathing. And as she does that, Nicholas kind of scoffs and rolls his eyes. Ayo, you guys are still sitting out there watching. There doesn't seem to be any obvious thing right now. Ruby's still watching and not moving. What do you want to do?
Ruby, did he tell you what he was going to do?
And she kind of looks back and just kind of shakes her head. No. You guys still moving?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And you're kind of on your movement speed, so it's going to be kind of hard for you guys to actually get there before quite a few turns pass. But yeah, you guys are still running that direction. Actually, what you guys will see at this point, both of you give me a perception check, and yeah, you don't have to. You're good.
19.
19? What'd you get?
1.
A 1? You rolled a 1?
Yeah.
All right, yeah. Well, you're focused on where you think your brother is right now. You're quite worried about it. But Ayo, you people still have their glasses, and you can kind of see kind of a purplish smoke. Like it seems like it's turning into vapor and kind of running over the edge of the cup. And you see that too. Like you can see it. Like even just a few people that are just kind of like looking confused that you run past. Kind of just a light mist. It's not like bubbling over, but you can definitely see. It looks like they have a hot drink, and just like a heavy vapor just kind of starts to pour over the edge.
Purple.
Yeah, kind of like a little purple tint. And there are, they're not. Hey, you can hear a couple people kind of go kind of give confused comments, but it seems
tastes weird. Yeah.
Yeah, or they kind of they kind of look at their cup, and they see what it's doing. But it doesn't seem like a whole lot of people realize. They seem more focused on what's happening in the center of town right now. Oseron.
Yep.
The Archmage herself has just juiced the Emperor inside of Annalie Sullivan's tomb, the holy place of the world, as far as you know.
Yeah.
And you also know he's the descendant of the Emperor and Helm. How do you feel about that?
Pretty messed up right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's going on?
What do you do?
God. God, I won't get out the way either. Yeah, it's not gonna move. Swing on him again.
Okay. Yeah. Go ahead.
21.
Does not hit. As he parries your attack.
Yeah. Swing him one more time.
Mm-hmm.
Nope. Man, that's like a 34.
What'd you get? You're on another 4?
no,
Okay.
no,
I was gonna say,
four.
well, he's after your first attack, he parries and it kind of leaves a little opening, but you still aren't able to hit him. And again, he takes the defensive stance and he looks at you and he says, "If there's a chance to bring Helm back, this is the best way. We need him."
Who is we?
And the Archmage gets some shocky hands again. And she hits him with another. And at this point, you do visibly see the Emperor just kind of looks like he gives a big... And he's pretty sure he's dead.
Yeah.
And so we're still in the rounds, though. So again, outside, you guys are still moving. You guys see the cup. Ayo, is there anything you want to do specifically as you kind of see this kind of fog begin to pour onto the ground? And it looks like it's coming from all sources of the Crimson Haze wand that they gave out to these people. And so it's quickly fogging the streets.
Is there any more liquid inside the chalices or cups?
You can, over this short amount of time, there still is, but it's definitely visibly going down quickly.
Okay, it's evaporating.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna make my way toward the tomb.
All right, gonna try to push past the guards.
Yeah.
Okay. They're just give me a.
I'm gonna sneak past those guards.
We try to sneak past them.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Or are
there's
they
enough.
just watching the door?
They are. Yeah, no, that's a good point. They're actually pretty distracted themselves. They're still like, kind of holding people back and keeping this line, but they're also looking. So, yeah, with a sneak like that, you're able to sneak, but I think you're going to have to try to squeeze through.
Well, I'm sure everybody's watching the door, right?
Yeah, I mean they're like
That's
they're
good,
still turned in your direction, but they are looking back as well. So it's just kind of it's more of just going between them to go in, and if you want to try to like just give me athletics and just based off that we'll kind of see how this goes.
Athletics, not
Yeah.
so good.
Or the acrobatics, excuse me. I
Well,
forgot.
athletic was 17 and
Yeah.
dexterity check, I guess.
Yeah, give me the
Or-
dexterity part of it. So, make a acrobatics because you're trying to
acrobatics.
Yeah.
27.
27. Okay, well you bump through them as you kind of just gingerly slide through,
Swiggle
but they don't
through.
seem to like
Wiggle.
actively be going for you. Like you got through and didn't like bump them out of the way. Like maybe if you were like rolled real bad, that you like bumped them out and they'd been like hey and tried to grab you, but you're just kind of able to get through. They still seem to be quite distracted, and you were able to continue moving towards that. And with your movement speed, you're able to get to where you're just feet away, unless you want to like use your dash and get up to it. Because they probably kept a pretty big diameter around this place. Yeah, it's a pretty big place. But it's like if you like cunning action dash or something, you can get to like the front of the door where you're standing in front of it. If not,
Can I get close enough to where I can throw something at the shadows?
oh yeah, definitely.
Okay, that's what I want to do.
Okay, yeah. And roll to hit. Roll
Okay.
attack.
I'm just going to throw the regular dagger at him.
Okay. Yeah, just give me whatever that is.
Okay.
And let's see.
Nothing great. It's 15.
15. You hit one. It kind of you can see it stab. So roll damage.
Would it be a sneak attack? Is this a creature?
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
Yeah, you definitely snuck attack it.
A sneak attack.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just from the way that you can see that maybe the way their thumbs are turned or something. It looks like that you got him in the back.
Okay.
Pretty good roll over there.
27.
27. All right. You kind of hear this kind of I won't call it a growl, but definitely kind of like it's like a mix between a growl and a hiss. So it's kind of like and it kind of just this shadow just seems to kind of evaporate and your dagger hits the ground.
A bunch of other shadows there.
There's definitely a lot of them there, and as that happens, you see like some other shadows just from different places begin to kind of dart around, and they kind of like start making a semicircle around you. They're on the ground still, but you can definitely see just kind of like misshapen shadows on the ground as they seem to be coming towards you. They don't seem to be attacking you or anything, but they definitely moved in your direction.
Okay.
Like some came from some of the soldiers that are standing around. Some came from the actual shadow of the temple, or not the temple, even like the shadow of the temple. They just kind of dart around. It seems just from that reaction, your assumption, the combat that you've experienced and such would be that there's a lot of these things around.
Okay. Do they seem to be coming from the people that drank the haze wine, or just the guards themselves?
You definitely
the
saw
shadows?
from where you're standing. You can definitely see some of them came from the guards. Even with the passive perception, it's kind of hard to tell if they came from the people outside the
A
line.
lot of people out there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. You two, you're running towards there. Do you have something? Get your hand up.
Yeah.
What?
Do I feel any different after drinking?
Well, I was
this wine?
about to. Don't worry, that's coming.
Okay.
Raynor, you feel fine.
Okay.
Dane, you kind of, it's like as you blink, as you're running, your blink just kind of lingers for a long time, and you just kind of like snap yourself a little bit. But make a was it willpower? Wisdom, excuse me. Yeah, wisdom save. Ooh, willpower. What game's that from?
Pathfinder.
Vampire, Pathfinder. Yeah.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wisdom on the warrior.
Probably
Okay,
Pathfinder as well.
Well, that's a 4, but I want to use Indomitable.
Well, hang on. I think. Hang on, let me think. You feel sleepy. Is that Constitution or is that Wisdom to like fight kind of a sleepish spell? What should that be?
It would depend on the spell, I guess.
Yeah, it's kind of a. We'll go first Wisdom, yeah,
Okay.
and then if you make it, then maybe it starts making your body more sluggish since you drank it.
Yeah.
It's like a magical effect. It's probably his wisdom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So go
Right.
give the Wisdom you want to do. Indomitable.
Yeah, so I'm using Indomitable because I failed that one, which I'll get to re-roll it.
Yeah.
And I won't be able to use that again for after a long rest.
Okay. Yeah. Cool. Go for it.
Oh, 20?
All right. What's the total?
20. Yeah.
Oh, you definitely like felt like suddenly really drowsy, and you kind of like your head bobs and you snap out of it real quick. And as you kind of felt that, it's almost like that falling sensation. You kind of and like feel extremely alert right after that. Like what was that? And you
Inception.
you guys Raynor and even like Ao from where you are, you start to like hear and see people begin to like kind of nod off and lay onto the ground. Even some of the soldiers begin to kind of fall down. But it seems to be getting the people first and most successfully the people that have the glasses in their hands and have been drinking. Of note, it just looks like a bunch of humans so far. Like you can just glance and see elves, and they look like they're just perfectly fine, and they look confused. Back inside the tomb. Bell, you haven't felt anything yet.
How do I feel?
You feel fine.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you can like smell kind of this lavender scent in the air. It smells good. Yeah, I mean, it almost
Lavender.
smells like the Crimson Haze wine itself a little bit, but it just so there's a pleasant aroma in the air. But there's these shadow creatures that are in front of you.
Wizard of Oz? Is that what we're doing?
So the make a medicine check. Yeah,
16.
the Emperor is definitely dead.
Yeah.
Or he's not breathing.
Yeah.
And just the way his body just kind of like flattened down a little bit, and the smoke that's coming from his body, he's toast.
Time to get those shoulders.
So what do? Actually, before that, you hear another kind of crack noise, and if you kind of glance to the side, you can see like there's more visible cracks on this statue of the first emperor, and you can still see the glow off in the distance of the spear past Titanbeard and the Archmage and Nicholas and the dead emperor. And Titanbeard still stands between you, with kind of almost this pleading look on his face, and a defensive stance.
What's the spirit?
It's the Emperor dropped it. It's actually behind the Archmage, against the kind of close to the wall, because she's standing to the she's standing kind of there.
I'm just playing about this.
So how many feet away is it? Just
Oh, this
right
is not.
there?
This is not a very big place. Yeah, this is like probably like a 20 square foot room. You can get wherever you want to go.
It kills people.
Hmm?
The spear. Everyone who touches it. Okay.
I mean, yeah.
No, I'm shush. I'm shush.
Took down the Emperor,
Fuck that.
man.
He don't need
So
no.
wait.
He don't need no fingers.
I don't need them. Don't need them, right?
Yeah, you gonna go? You gonna try to run past Titanbeard and grab it?
Nice.
Because even though he's taking this defensive stance, he'll probably still go get an attack of opportunity on you as you go.
Oh no. What if I miss it still? If you don't.
Oh yeah, you can miss his step if you want to.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
15 feet.
unless I don't think it can be counterspelled either by like an Archmage reaction or anything.
Maybe I don't know about that, but I mean it's a spell still, but it's still a spell.
It can still be countered. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, she just seems to be kind of preoccupied right now, so maybe you could do it. You want to miss a step over there?
Yeah, sure. Why not? Yeah, yeah, I'm gonna do it.
All
Yeah,
right.
I'm gonna do it. Yeah.
You missed a step, and you so you go behind the Archmage to where it is. on the
Deal
ground.
with spears.
Yeah, you can get to it. You're standing above it, and you can still see you can't see the spear itself, but you can see the obvious glow of where it is under under this fog.
Oh boy, rip right hand. I go to grab it.
You grab it, you pick it up.
Yeah.
All right. Give me a Constitution save and a Wisdom save.
Constitution and
Yeah.
wisdom.
Yeah.
Bow.
Oh boy, that low one.
That's so low.
Oh man, yeah.
Bye, Ezra.
You got your +4 still.
Yeah, I do. But
That don't-
Constitution.
Don't matter, no.
It's 10 on the first one.
All right.
You said wisdom on the other one.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's better. 17. 21 on the wisdom.
Okay. Cool. So you grab it, and we're gonna take a break. We'll be right back to Charisma Plus. We'll see what happens to Oceron. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. welcome back.
Yay.
Welcome back to
D&D
Charisma Plus.
ASMR.
We love drama. So right before the break, oh man, there's been an assassination of the Emperor attempt. You think he's pretty dead, as you were down there in this tomb where it happened. There is a mist that's quickly filling up the town. It seems to Dane, you kind of felt like it's kind of a sleep effect's happening. The elves in the party don't seem to be bothered at all. Oseron, you just misty stepped over and picked up the Lance of Helm, this legendary item that the only people that have ever been known to handle this item have been direct lineage of the Emperor, and it was used as a key to open up Lady Sullivan's tomb as it kind of like helplessly floats in the background. So you pick it up. Do you remember what you rolled? You had a 20 on the console.
21 on win and
Okay. The other one,
other.
yeah. So,
This is part where I turned in my character sheet.
no. But you pick it up and you grab it, and you're holding it, and everyone in the room just kind of turns and looks at you, and the Archmage has a surprised look on her face, tight and beard as he looks back, has his jaws kind of open, and Nicholas is just kind of grinning at you, and everything goes white. It's like a blinding light happens. But you're able to still yourself and everything kind of comes back into view. But everything looks completely different. It's like the room you're in has disappeared. You can still see kind of these figures standing around you. But it's like you can see, it's overwhelming. It's like you can see everything around. At this time, you that are standing outside, there is a bright burst of light, and these shadowy figures that come around you just kind of evaporate into the air. People kind of gasp, and then you see a few more that kind of pass out to the ground. We'll do the rest of the party first. You guys see this burst of light. There's no sound with it. It's just sudden light, like someone just turned a very bright flashlight on. And the shadowy figures just kind of whoosh, and all of you, it seems to be through the ring. Like you can hear just this loud, kind of like a ringing in your ear, but much louder. Not so much that it's painful, but just you just hear in your ear, in your head, really. And just from the ability to like, you can feel it's coming from Oseron. What does anybody want to do?
I'm gonna look for Ruby. She's still standing.
Yep, she is still, like, the guards have kind of fallen to her side. She's still kind of standing right where she was. Her there seems to be like a kind of a strong wind that's coming from the temple, and her cloak is flapping to the side a bit, revealing her claw, and she seems relaxed, but still very ready. And she starts taking a few steps forward, not quickly, but like, you know, she's not running up to the door.
All right. All the shadows gone.
There are no shadows. Like there are shadows on the opposite side of where this light's coming from, but as far as little shadow figures, you cannot see anymore.
I'm gonna run down toward the crypt then.
You go run down toward the crypt?
Yeah.
Okay. Yep, we think. Yeah, you're definitely able to get down there with your speed. And before we tell you what you see, Raynor,
Still running
that
same way to the
direction.
crypt.
Make another save.
Wisdom. 3.
You fall asleep.
Oh.
You can hear
Otherwise
kind of a
bad.
thud behind you, and you can like through the ring mentally. You guys can tell that Scryan has fallen asleep, and Mary or Belle and Hymo. You guys can see the light coming through the window. It's a bright light. Like this is blinding almost light. You can still, it's not making everybody go blind, but it's definitely like you had to squint. And like even like you going down the stairs, you kind of got to cover your face and look down at your feet. You guys see this light? Mary, at this time probably make the save.
I'm drinking wine. I'm inside the house.
Yeah, but it's kind of fogging up the streets and moving pretty quickly.
Into the house. Okay. Wisdom.
Yeah.
19.
19. Okay, you feel groggy, like slightly, but you kind of feel like you want to take a nap for a second. But you're fine.
Tired and thirsty.
She's
Yeah.
bored.
Yeah.
She's bored.
Brucey's nearby, and you can see kind of Brucey just kind of just curl up on the floor, and he starts to look like he's taking a nap, and you kind of see like the fog just kind of slowly easing in under the doors. How about you feel fine? Ayo, you get down to the bottom, and again, there's this. It's very, very bright in here. Probably so bright that you make a perception check, just so if you can try to make out what's in this room.
Not great. Perception? No. It's 14.
14?
Yeah.
You can see. It's kind of it's very hard to like I was gonna say that maybe you could like see like the shadows of the people that have kind of turned their back, but even that, like just the reflection of the light from the room would fill that up. But we'll say you can like kind of make out this bright light coming from it's like a dwarf holding a golden spear. You can't tell if it's Oseron or if it's Titanbeard really, but you can still see off to the side. Seems to be kind of a body on the floor. It's kind of like you're looking at a picture that the white balance has been turned up so bright you can barely like make it out, but you can still see the people in the room, and you see two people in these robes, and just guessing that they're the Archmage and Nicholas, and they seem to be exchanging something. You can see kind of even in all this light, kind of like a low blue glow of like a crystal coming from Nicholas, and then a staff from the Archmage, and they exchange these two items. Oseron, again, like you don't hear anything. It's just complete silence. But imagine kind of like Trine, like the grid and the whole world without the grid. It's just like kind of empty space is all around you, and you can see this kind of a ghostly, foggy figure kind of run down the stairs, and then you can see these two that are kind of passing things between each other, and then you see a kind of a void. It's like everything is kind of like a darker spot on the ground, and you can see kind of these golden shoulder pads that kind of glitter in the air. And you can see in the distance, you can see like these pillars of light in the air, some broken, a couple are complete. I guess what I'm trying to say is that you have like this weird form of true sight where you can see everything except for the actual material world.
Yeah.
One thing to point out is that really like close, probably in your confusion, but around where the statue is, there seems to be this very white glowing figure in the same stance as the first emperor's statue, but you can actually make out kind of the face, and you see this angry scowl on it, and you can kind of see it like moving, like it's trying to break free of something. And you can look up, and as you look up, you hear kind of this screaming, like a child screaming, and you look up and you see the gyroscopic flaming baby in the air, and you can kind of see through it, and you see this golden city and these strange little creatures, like a little triangle creature with like an eyeball in the middle of its head, with really thin limbs, and there's just like different odd shapes of these creatures that kind of moving through the city, and they all seem to be kind of watching. And you can look over, and you can see kind of one of these pillars that's reaching up to the sky, the outline of like a dragon, but you're able to see it almost plainly, like it's about this big to you. But if it's at summer shade, you shouldn't be able to see it, but you can. You can see this kind of bubble in the direction of the vineyard, and it just kind of looks like this blue sphere that reaches down to the ground. And you can look down at your own hands, and you see you, just normal. And it kind of flashes like almost like a memory, and you seem to be looking down, kind of at like you're very tall, looking down into the same room, the same crypt. And Nicholas is kind of sits and turns and looks at you, and he says something in a strange language, but it echoes in your head, and you can understand it. And he says, "I'm taking everything from you," and it makes you angry. And then you have another flash, and you see kind of a beam. Yeah, fly down over there. Kind of a beam coming down into Pearl Reach, and kind of there's like a crater left in the middle, and this angelic creature with wings kind of stands up, and everything goes black.
Damn it.
The light dims, and you can see Oseron fall to the ground, and the spear rolls across the floor. And you can see plainly now, like Titanbeard is off to the side, and he's kind of looking confused, and the Archmage and Nicholas seem like nothing's really going on. They're just kind of like he has this large spear with a kind of a red cat's eye on top of it, and she has this small gem, and you can see kind of swirling in it, very similar to what you guys saw in Nemonis, the Solnado. And she takes it. Anything you want to do at this moment?
I'm running toward Oseron.
Okay.
Check him out.
Yeah, you run up to Oseron. Just give him a look over. He just seems to be unconscious. He doesn't seem to be dead. And you can kind of smell there's like a smell of burning flesh in the room. And you can see smoke kind of coming from the hand of Oseron on the ground, and then obviously the Emperor. Anything else you want to do right at this moment? You ran over to him. He seems to be okay as you look him over. He's obviously still breathing. He's like mumbling something, but you can't quite make out what it is.
I'm going to yell at Nicholas. What happened? What's going on here?
And Nicholas kind of taps the staff on the ground and looks up at it and smiles. Oh, we're just getting the welcoming party started.
I've seen that before.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He kind of gives like a really big grin, like he's just so happy. Like rubs his nose a little bit.
This is your plan.
That's his plan. He points down to the Emperor. My plan, that he kind of points up, is to get that son of a bitch back down here. Then maybe we can fix everything he's messed up.
I attempt to shake Oseron awake.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And while you're doing that, everybody else, you're still running in that direction. You can hear footsteps coming down on the stone steps. If you're asleep, Mary, make another roll as you're yawning and getting tired over here.
Being in character. Oh shit.
Not one.
One.
So
You just kind of it's like a very comfortable like sleepiness comes over, and you're not able to fight it. Maybe just a 5-minute nap, and you kind of lay back as this bright light that was suddenly coming through your windows is dimmed down. You're like, oh. Hama, I think you're with her, and she just kind of dozes off and goes to sleep as this bright light just flashed, and it went on for like 10 seconds, and then it went down. What do? You get up and go out? Or do you chill where you are?
I'll look at Belle kind of weird because she just goes out.
Just comfortably and happily goes to sleep.
I'm gonna go look out the window just to see if anything happened real quick.
Yeah, you look out the window, and then Raynor, you're still heading in that direction. You guys, pretty much everyone is just kind of just falling like flies onto the ground, going to sleep. Humans, dwarves, the only people that are standing are elves, and they are very confused. And I say there's like maybe like 50 of them just kind of standing around looking at each other and looking down, and they kind of like toss the glasses down that they were drinking from. The soldiers, who are all human, the servants, the ones that were preparing all the stonework to move the body, everybody's asleep. You look out the window and you see Scran, probably 60 feet from the door, just on the ground asleep. It looks like the whole city, aside from the elves, has fallen asleep.
I'm gonna try to wake Belle up and see if.
Yeah, you should give her a shake.
Yeah.
Yeah. Make another wisdom save.
21.
Yeah, then you kind of like groggily, like almost like you've just been woken up from a really nice nap. Maybe even like a little resentful that you just been woke up. As Hamo's kind of giving you a shake. But yeah, you're able to wake her up without a whole lot of fuss.
Nicholas, all these people that were passing out, what was going on?
Put him to sleep. And as he's saying that, the Archmage she's casting in the background. You can kind of see like a portal open up. You kind of see like this kind of blue-edged but clear space to the other side. It seems to be kind of like a nice room on the other side as she's cast this portal. And the footsteps you hear coming down, you can see Ruby's like legs begin to like.
Wait,
come down.
are they going to be okay?
Oh yeah, they'll be fine. They'll be fine. Probably much better now than they were before.
Is us starting to wake?
No, definitely not. You are.
Run back upstairs.
Yeah, you were like Ruby's kind of coming down. You run past her, and Titanbeard falls asleep. Titanbeard kind of takes a heavy knee and he has a hammer and he's like, oh, just conks out.
How many elves do I see standing around?
If you go back up,
Yeah.
well, there's probably about 50 of them, just kind of like one here, one there, and around. And then you can see once more of them have started to come out and see what's going on in the distance. But it seems all the elves are perfectly fine.
I'm going to yell out to him.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, something's going on. I don't know what it is, but we need to get these people out of here.
And they kind of have this confused look, like, oh. And they can, like, you see some shrug and kind of look at each other and like scratch their heads, and they begin to like come. Several of them begin to start coming into the people and like
Get them out of this fog.
And you can actually see that maybe even before you say that or after you say that, even the barrels that haven't been opened yet, you can see the fog kind of seeping out of them. And as far as you can see down the streets, you can see this fog is beginning to reach. It's getting pretty close to taking the whole city. It's moving very quickly. But so you ran back up. You can hear back down in the crypt, like kind of the moving of kind of like a body being dragged. And well, not really a body being dragged. You kind of hear like, with your perception, it sounds like something's scraping against stone, like someone's moving something. Mm-hmm. Not really a body. And you can hear footsteps coming back up the steps behind you. And you're still running. You see Ao come out. You hear him yell this. And I mean, everything's so quiet in the city right now that everyone could hear him yell out that something's going on. You're asleep. But Nicholas is walking up the stairs, and Ruby is behind him, and she seems to be kind of with them is this kind of crystal encasement of Lady Sullivan, and these shadow creatures are kind of holding it up. And you can kind of see that several of them are coming from Nicholas's shadow and moving in. Like some of them come from out the streets, and they seem to be gathering under him as he walks up. Yeah, so yeah, it's Ruby, Nicholas, and the body of Lady Sullivan is all they're bringing out. And Nicholas stops and kind of taps his staff on the ground a little bit, looks at it and smiles, and kind of like pulls his black strap from his neck and throws it down and puts the staff on his shoulder and kind of brushes away as it kind of goes into black particles off of his skin. And he begins to speak, but much like the Emperor, it's much louder. His voice is booming throughout the city. And
Just dying.
you can feel a very familiar feeling coming from him. much like the first time you met him, kind of this feeling that you kind of want to hear what he has to say.
Mhm.
Like maybe he's not such a bad guy.
Yeah.
But
I
it's
love this spell.
but it's much. It almost you can almost kind of like feel it like boom from him. It's much stronger than normal. You guys don't have to roll or anything. You guys have passed this already. You got you can make a wisdom save, but do it at advantage.
Me.
Everybody that's awake. Everybody in town that's awake.
Well, like this is just the elves.
Yep.
21.
21. Yeah, you're awake too.
18.
18.
Will you roll for me, Kate?
Are
14.
you awake?
Yeah,
14.
Yeah.
Okay.
She was sharp awake.
Now it's with advantage.
With
Yeah.
advantage.
Okay.
Oh, he's bad. Bad heat. 9 total.
9 total. Okay. Hymo and Bell, as you guys are going to hear him speak, it's what he's going to say. Before he even says it, you guys kind of feel like you want to hear what he has to say, and it's not such a bad idea. And he comes out, and just to give the kind of clip notes of what he's going to say here is that the evil seed of the Emperor has been plucked from this world. The guy that enslaved all elves, his reign ends today, and that Nicholas announces that he's going to take the elves back to whatever that I just forgot whatever that city was named.
Oh, okay. It's Cephalar.
Sethalar?
Yeah.
That's it. I had it written down, but I was like, but take it back to Sethalar, the large tree, like the place you guys have been before, where Chambros the Gentle will watch it over everyone, where the elven capital, basically. And he announces that all the elves can leave in peace.
Goodness.
He's put to sleep everyone in town. He will lead them there, provide for them, and if anyone wishes to stay behind, they're more than welcome to. And he basically just says that we can get out of town and go back to the homeland. And he begins walking towards the harbor side of town. And you guys heard him. He begins walking, and you can kind of see. I mean, and he's not holding back this aura that he has, and it seems to be working fairly well on a lot of the elves. And many of them begin to follow him, and you can kind of hear some of them. Some of them are kind of like joyous, and then speaking of, this is the guy that opened up the Mercule Temple. Hey, he's not so bad. La, 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 la. And they seem to be kind of fallen in quite easily, unfortunately, or maybe fortunately. We're not too sure. What does the party want to do? Individuals, and then, like I say, Ruby's with him. There's like several of these shadowy figures that are kind of holding this crystal encasement of Lady Sullivan, and they're moving out. No emperor body or anything, tight beard, nothing. Just them.
I'm gonna walk towards Scrying and wake him up.
Yeah, go there and smack Scron and make another save.
Chips are
10.
attacking me.
10.
I just got something in my
You don't-
eye.
Warned you about
It's
this
kind of
stuff.
like you kind of open your eyes, but it's kind of like you're still asleep. It's like there's this guy kind of look at you, and you kind of slowly doze back off. But so not quite good enough to wake up. But yeah, Nicholas is. Anybody want to do anything?
Yeah. Have I got to the?
Oh yeah, you can like it's kind of we're not really in rounds anymore. You've been like running up this whole time, but you can get down there to where all these people are just kind of laid out, and maybe kind of it's difficult terrain because there's all these people, and you kind of like hop over them and. Well, you may fall, but you keep your footing, and you're like making your way to these people, and like you can see Nicholas where you are. He's kind of in the distance now, and like these elvish people have come out, and they started kind of gathering around him, and yeah, they all seem to be following him.
I've heard his speech, right?
Oh yeah, everybody heard it. Like I said, it wasn't worded very political and beautiful like the Emperor's, but the basic message was that the Emperor's dead. Humans are the ones that enslaved you all. Things haven't been getting much better. Let's get out of here. And we'll have ships ready.
Can I run
following the
inside?
Emperor.
Yep.
Can I run inside the temple?
Yeah,
Try
you
to
can do
catch
that.
up with him.
You gotta go after Nicholas. Okay. Yeah.
Nicholas, yeah.
You say you want to go down into the. Okay. Yeah. You go down there and you see. Well, it looks like a tomb. That's the top of it's been kind of slid to the side and it's empty and there's kind of low foggy smoke on the ground and you see a dwarf with silver hair laying on the ground in golden armor and then you see him kind of in the corner and there's like a glow underneath this fog and then you can see the emperor at the side and his skin is charred. Oh yeah, important thing in Nicholas's thing, he said that this is he incurred the wrath of Helm, and he deserves it.
Mm.
But anyway, so yeah, that's what you see when you go down there.
Walk over, try to wake him up.
Mm-hmm. It doesn't seem like he's asleep. It just seems like he's more unconscious. Like, you've seen him like this before when he gets hit real hard.
Mm-hmm.
Every day.
He's definitely unconscious and not asleep.
Would I get that giving him a potion, wake him up?
Make a medicine check.
Okay. Oh God, what is my medicine? What is that? Oh, +4. 15.
Yeah, you would think he's unconscious and a potion should help him out. Like, I mean, maybe his nose is bleeding a little bit. It looks like he's been hit by something hard. He's not a splatter on the ground, but he's definitely taking damage.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you know that a potion should help him out a lot.
Yeah, I'll feed him one.
Give him one, all right?
Yeah, just a normal potion.
And I don't roll however much that is, but you can.
1d4.
Your eyes pop open.
1d4, just a d4 plus anything.
Plus
4.
Yeah, +4.
6. So
And,
I wake back up with 6 health?
Yep. Yeah, you wake back up and you got there's a D4 plus 2 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yeah, you wake up with that and your eyes. There's like a pain in your head, and that ringing noise all you heard stopped whenever the light stopped, but you can like still kind of hear this like childlike tantrum in your ear. It's coming from far away, like above you. And you kind of blink in, and the room comes back into focus.
What happened? Where am I?
I don't know what happened.
You feel like you got smashed by a boulder,
My head hurts.
or struck by lightning. You know.
Something. Wow. God, my
Put my
head.
like clawed hand on like the top of his forehead to like see if he has like fever or
Oh,
something.
he's hot.
He's hot.
He's got a very high body temperature right now.
Where? What happened? God, shut the damn baby up.
What are you talking about?
You don't hear it. She's whining. This God. I don't. Oh,
God's a
God.
baby?
It's almost like a screech, really. Where
Yeah.
It's like wah wah. It's like ah!
Yeah, I imagine one of those.
Oh, like
Yeah.
complete tantrum.
Yeah, just you don't hear it. God, where am I? I'm getting over my eyes, my arm, my right arm, and the whole side of my body is just like. It's the best way to explain it. It feels not tingling, but throbbing with pain, I guess.
And one thing that I failed to mention during your moment was that you had this very strong feeling and hate towards the lady in white, Miracule. Like you really wanted her dead, real bad.
So no more than usual.
Yeah.
But that's still like you don't feel that way now, but you definitely remember feeling that way, and you were like it was like you were looking for her, but you couldn't find her.
Yeah. So many visions.
And
God.
at this point, you're able to wake up. You keep on trying to wake up Scrying. You can get him awake.
Okay.
But you're still gonna. This fog is still around, so it's gonna. Just for story's sake, you're just gonna be like real groggy the whole time. You made it through, yeah, but you can be part of the story too. Don't worry. And you're following.
Nicholas.
You catch up to Nicholas, and you're
Yeah.
following him, and he's like, you can catch up to him, and it's there's a lot of people around him, but they seem to kind of be behind him, and he's just leading the way through the streets.
I'm gonna run in front of him.
Mhm.
Nicholas,
And,
I have to talk to you
well, let's walk and talk.
alone.
I kind of got a movement going on right now.
Yeah, they can wait.
Oh, you can wait. And he starts walking past you.
Nicholas, if you use these people as one of these pillars, if you use their souls, I will kill you.
No. And he kind of looks back. He's like, that's fixing the pillars is your job.
Yeah.
And he continues to walk and kind of brushes past you. Like, don't worry. They'll be fine.
Okay.
Yeah. And I mean, even without rolling insight, you don't really detect any malice. He's got like it feels like he's giving off this feeling of like he's very proud right now, but he doesn't seem like he's got any evil intent, like from what you can tell right now.
We'll see.
Yeah. Do you want to continue to go with them or see where they go?
I'm gonna fall behind.
Okay. And you got anybody else want to do anything else specific? Like what's going to be happening right now? Town's asleep. Nicholas is going to continue moving. He's going to the ports.
Wait, the whole town is asleep.
Oh yeah.
All the humans.
What was the old guy in the shop?
Hmm?
Never mind, forget that.
Where was he?
Yeah, human. What was he?
Is that your first thought? Where's that guy?
I'm gonna find his golem.
No, it's all right.
He definitely was a human.
Yeah. What's going inside? I'm starting to stand back up, feeling wobbly, and I'm looking at the Emperor, and I don't know.
Gazaru.
Yeah. I'm trying to make sure that I point out everything that's really important while you had your kind of moment. I think you got everything. You kind of got like this feeling like the shoulder plates and the lance belong with the Emperor. I know it's not saying like you don't feel like you shouldn't take it or anything like that, but I got a really bad feeling when you messed the other one. So
yeah.
And then there's kind of like it's almost like a feeling that they belong to your lord. As you are filled with this power recently, you're feeling very faithful right now. Just maybe even characteristically so, but you kind of got that. You feel like you've just seen some stuff.
Yeah. I'm gonna try to walk around in the temple and pick back up the ring.
Oh yeah, you try to find it.
Yeah.
Well, now that the everything's been cleared out, the fog is kind of settling down, and you're able to find it. If you look around, like run your hands over the ground, like it's smooth ground, so there's nothing down there except for like this ring. Whenever you find it, it's kind of like up against one of the steps.
Yeah, just go and pick it up and put it back on.
Yeah. And Raynor, you're still down there with him?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Anybody else do anything else? Like you all, at this point, even Belle, like you can, like if you look out the window, you can see that there's just like these elves that kind of like just made this crowd and they're heading through the city and heading out. You can even see like the elves from the AO, you can. The paladins of Mercule are following in. It's like, rolled for it. Every elf in this city is going with them. Like you don't see anybody left behind. They're just leaving houses behind. They're like just gathering like basic stuff that they need quickly and making their way out to the streets.
Are they going in any ways that we normally would travel, or are they going like in a new way?
They're going to the docks.
Yeah, they go into the harbor, the harbor town. So they're going down to where the docks and all the boats are.
Our butler, was he a human or an elf?
Oh yeah, he's straight asleep.
Okay.
It's human.
You don't
Is
hear
Miss
anything.
Eve asleep?
You don't hear anything.
I have suspicions about Miss Eve.
Yeah.
I want to go check on her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. You go up there and you find both her and Nathan are kind of like they seem to be kind of like Nathan's shaking her and he seems to have woken up and he's trying to wake her up.
Okay.
And he's kind of like, come on, let's go. He seems to be kind of like in a panicked rush.
Okay.
And did you kind of, are you still going with them or just kind of like leaving
I'm
them
gonna
alone?
fall back a little bit and watch kind of what they're doing, where they're going.
Okay, yeah. They continue to go right where they said they're going. They go to the harbor, and there you can see there's several ships, mini ships, and you can see elves that are already on them, and they're kind of like waving as they come. Very odd. And they begin to get on these boats, and that's really all they're going to do. They are going to get on the boats, and they're going to leave. And Nicholas and Ruby and Miss Eve's body are going with them. And you feel a little thirsty. All right, but that's what they're gonna. That's like how the rest of the scene's gonna continue to play out. So if anybody wants to do anything, throw it in there. But if not, they're gonna time will pass.
Okay. Can I look over the Emperor's body?
Yeah.
Does he have any magical rings or anything like that?
Yeah, silver rings on, and a few of them you can feel some magic coming from.
Mhm.
You want to grab them up?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, sweet. Grab them rings up. He's got two of them. Two of them to be magical,
So 2 rings.
and the rest of them seem to be he's got almost one on every
decorative.
finger, and they're very
Does he have
fancy.
a big diamond ring on him?
Oh yeah, his
let me-
pinky ring has got this big rock
let
on
me
it.
get that one.
yeah. You want to loot the emperor? Go for it. You can get it.
Just take it.
As time passes and you're doing that, that's really only thing you find on the emperor's body. He doesn't carry a gold pouch because he's the emperor. What does he need to pay for? He doesn't have a huge scythe. He doesn't have any weapons on him.
Yo, I was gonna ask, where did Scythe go?
Yeah,
Weird.
he doesn't have that with him.
Weird.
He seemed to kind of summon it last time.
Where's that? Okay, whatever.
And he's got a lot of decorative jewelry, but as far as magical items go, shoulders, yeah, few rings, and that's it. That's all you can find.
Okay.
You said the spear and the shoulder pads feel like they just should be there, right?
Well, you just you remember seeing them on the first emperor.
Yeah.
You remember, I don't know. It's not a feeling that's making you make choices, but it's just kind of
They feel like they should be.
you
there.
feel like you kind of have this
Yeah.
gut feeling that you're like, okay, yeah, they belong
Here.
here.
Yeah. Walk over to the spear.
Yeah,
Pick it up.
you'll pick it up again.
Oh my god.
It's still hot.
I'm just gonna put the spear. I want to put the spear with the emperor, just lay it next to him. That's
Yeah,
all.
you wanna
I can help.
Yeah. Let's say let's do it
no.
all right.
No.
You kind of tell me what your intentions are before you grab the spear. What's in your mind, what you're thinking actively as you reach down to pick the spear up.
I feel bad because couldn't protect the emperor,
Mhm.
but at the same time, I didn't want to kill Titanbeard
Right.
and don't know all the stuff that I saw.
Right.
And what else? And probably feel pretty bad because now Vanessa lost her dad, and then so when
All right. Well, you
I
reach for
couldn't
the,
protect him at the same time, just
So-
like one of those.
you reach down for the spear, and maybe hesitate a little bit, and then you grab it.
Yeah.
Nothing happens. You're able to stand up, and you have just this feeling that the spear, and you kind of look at the statue that's standing there, and you kind of feel like where it was floating before is where it should be.
Yeah. Just kind of take the spear and bring it over and lay it next to the emperor.
Mhm.
Just sit there for a minute.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Cool.
I'll just be kind of looking at
Yeah.
Hymo and what is happening? What just happened?
Nicholas is taking us back to the old Elf City.
And then I just see the masses.
Well, at this point, you don't see any of the elves anymore.
Okay.
You saw them gathering up. You see a couple of them kind of one maybe with a couple of bags. It's trying to run out of the house at the end. And it runs past, or runs down the street in the distance. Someone that's trying to pack a little extra.
This could be bad.
Could be good. I don't know.
We're looking at another war, potentially.
I don't know. I think the Emperor's dead though. It's just I don't know where the Emperor was. There was a whole bunch of weird stuff. There was a big dwarf size shadow coming out of it with a whole bunch of light. It was, I mean, I was in the house chilling. I wasn't trying to pay too much attention to anything going on outside.
Oh,
Titanbeard don't want me here. So I'm trying to keep a low profile.
And you guys are talking like. We'll kind of go back. Titanbeard is actually starting to wake up.
Yeah, I was gonna.
Now where AO is, it seems to be kind of the thickest. It seems kind of like rolled out through town. But those of you kind of the center can kind of see that the fog is kind of beginning to dissipate and roll out. Not many people wake up, but a couple people start to like kind of shift, like they're having a dream or something. But Titanbeard begins to like wake up and rub his face. He's like, "Oh." He suddenly jumps up and is looking around the room. You're still there?
Yeah.
And he's like, what happened? And he looks over to the Emperor. All right, we need to get the paladins up right now. Is everybody asleep?
I don't know. The Emperor's
He
dead. I don't know
turns and
what's
starts
going
running up the stairs. We go, get out of here! He like kind of yells to you like, we need to get away from the body, kind of thing.
Nudge him. Let's go.
on. I was trying to stay a little for a little bit longer. Just yeah, sure. Just takes off running now.
All right.
Or to start walking out.
Yeah. And I mean, you can hear like as Titanbeard's running up the stairs, he's like trying to like. His concern is that the Emperor's dead. There's a bunch of soldiers here. There could be like a big fight real soon.
Yeah.
And so he's like running up, and as he gets up, he like sees everybody asleep, and he starts running up and like slapping paladins in the face, and starts bringing them back up. And he's like taking care. He's like running past Crimson Knights, and so he's just trying to wake up just paladins. And back down by the docks, and like a ship full of elves begins to leave port and head west, away from Pearl Reach. And then another one looks like it's about ready. And there's about
Can you come back to that?
there's about 15 boats, and like one of them leaves, and another one's about ready, and then they're still kind of like trying to help people get to different boats that have enough room. So yeah, what does everybody want to do? I guess I should ask this: do you guys want to go with them? Do you want to stay here? Do you want to get out of town? What do you want to do? What does the party? You guys can discuss what happened over the ring, but what do you guys want to do?
I would like to get out of town
Yeah,
before
I think
everybody
so
wakes
too.
up.
I don't see any point in us sticking around Pearl Reach.
I am going to call my Pegasus,
Yeah.
to whistle or something, and I'm gonna ride off. I'm gonna call it towards me, and then I will go to Vanessa's house. Yeah. Well,
Heading to Vanessa's house?
yeah, heading that way
I'll
toward
wave
Vanessa.
at him as he leaves, leaving me behind.
Kind
See
of
you
like
later.
you
Yeah, what a guy. Just like,
tromp over some people in the
Save
streets, you
him.
know,
Yeah.
because there's just people laid out
okay.
everywhere.
Everywhere.
So maybe like take care to get out of the people first, and then I don't know.
Yeah, something. Wait, I just leave it fly in the air, and I get on the dwarf fans, and I just kind of loop up. I don't know, maybe.
It's alright, just saved your life, but that's cool.
Yeah, I mean, you get the door man. You get out and start trying to head to Vanessa's. What do you guys? Like, I know a lot's going on, but I kind of need an idea of what everybody wants to do and what direction, where to take you guys.
I think I need to get on this boat.
Well, then
Are you-
Bell's gonna get on the dumb boat.
Are y'all saying this over the ring, or y'all just?
Yeah.
Oh, you tell.
Well, Bell doesn't know about the boat then. What the fuck are you talking about?
Were you awake during Nicholas talking? I think you were. I think they
Yeah.
woke you up. Yeah. So you know that he said that he's going to sail everyone out.
You're. What AO you? What boat?
All the elves were loading on this boat.
What do you mean we? Why are you going?
I'm one of them.
Okay, and
I think I need to visit Acephalar.
you're gonna go with Nicholas
Go with those people.
after everything that just happened.
I'm not going with Nicholas.
He just killed the Emperor.
Yeah. We have to know what he's doing. And if you guys don't want to go, it's fine. I'll take care of myself. I'll be back.
Also, I was just kind of shocked at, like, what? Why?
Hey, yo. I know you feel a sense of purpose, the same as I do about the elves. We have a job. We have to restore the pillars. I know that's more important right now. I know.
What's the point of returning home if it gets destroyed within a year? Then you don't have a home. Then what?
We have our own boat. We can make our way there later.
Okay. We will get there one day, brother. Your family's here, and we need you. You promise we'll go there? Absolutely. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'll meet you guys back at the house. See you there.
By the way, where's my brother? Where's he at?
Shrub.
Yeah. I mean, you get,
Been a little sleepy here. I think I drink too much.
You're a dwarf. How did you go to sleep after what? How many drinks? 30,
Oh,
40?
a lot.
Like, you know,
So many.
75, yeah?
Somewhere in there.
Yes, yeah. That's about right, yep.
Yeah, well, I'm heading back to the house.
I saw him with one glass.
One glass? One glass? One glass, brother.
I'll see you at the house.
One glass.
It was a fancy glass, too.
Hands
What
up,
do you
yeah.
want?
all right, so you're heading to Vanessa's, right?
Yeah.
All right, so you ride up to Vanessa's place.
Yeah.
There's nobody. Like there's the two soldiers that are by the front door asleep.
Go past them.
You ride up and go in the front door. It's
Yeah.
open.
Yeah.
You get like maybe you passed like one or two the elves that were running past you when you're going up there. They seem to be heading in the same direction. They got their bag and stuff. They're getting out.
Yeah.
Everybody's asleep in this place. Where are you going?
Whatever Vanessa room is, I have no idea what it is.
Yeah, where's our room at,
I
huh?
have no idea. I have no idea. I'm like, gee.
That's just a little creepy.
Yeah. Gonna go find a sleeping girl.
baby.
Sleeping-
Mhm.
Let me see your
All right.
room.
So you want to go search?
Magically roofie.
You want to go search through the search of the house trying to find her?
Yeah, I try to find him.
Oh, well, you can spend some time doing that.
My booty seems to tingle. I don't
So, what did you guys decide you want to do? Stay or leave, or what are you guys doing?
We're meeting up at the house to discuss.
Music up the house and discuss. Okay,
I'm going to sell my gems.
you want to sell your gems?
One of the times. Sales gym.
Rob the bank.
So,
Well, if I don't sell them now, I won't ever get to sell them.
well, I mean, people are like, there's different people that are starting to wake up. So you could probably make your way towards the bank. That's where you want to go, or you want to?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna walk out. This is weird. Like people asleep. Go to the bank. Yeah, you get to the bank. Well, you go to the bank, and there's like this old lady that's kind of slumped over her desk, and kind of laying there at one of the mini booths.
Wait, she still asleep?
Oh, they're all sleeping here.
Everybody asleep?
Oh yeah.
I slap the shit out of that old lady.
You go up and slap this old lady.
And then I'm like sitting there like just looking at her like, hey.
All right. You slap her and she wakes up.
Let's hope she died.
Oh, I didn't had a nap. Is the emperor still here?
Yeah.
Just kind of looks around. There's like people just like asleep everywhere. Can I help you?
Yeah, I want to sell these gems.
Oh. And she'll help you. She'll take the gems from you. And she seems to be confused, but still trying to do her job. And she kind of like goes and like finds the manager and like starts shaking him. Young people are so lazy. And you get 3,000 gold for your gems. So, You guys go back to the house. Or are you still waiting by the docks?
Yeah.
Okay, and they continue to like another boat leaves, and you keep an eye out, looking around. Nothing crazy suspicious is happening. There's like people, like elves that you've seen before, like the one that you gave the warning to. He gets on one, and several of them like ask you to come with them. And another, like you kind of almost get tired of saying no. Like another one come by and be like, "Come on, let's go. Let's get out of here. Fuck these humans."
Just start walking back.
Okay. We start walking back, and like again, the boats continue to leave. There's it's like 3 of them left, but they seem to be less. There's less elves on these. It seems most of them kind of crowded into the other ones. There's kind of just like a 20 or so on each of these, as they kind of sit and wait to see if anybody else is coming. Like one more kind of runs past you down the street with just have like kind of food and kind of clothes in his arms as he's running. Osran.
Yep.
You find a very ornate and beautiful door down one of these hallways at the end.
Yeah.
And it's kind of cracked a little bit. There's a sleeping guard outside the door.
This has to be it, right? Maybe. Let me try to open it up.
Yeah, you open it up, and the door kind of like bumps something, and you look down, and Leopold is laying there on the ground asleep. He's kind of laying on the ground on his back. He's got a
Very handsome.
what did you play? A flute?
Yes.
Yeah, there's kind of a flute to his side, and he's kind of laying there with one of his hands.
An angel.
And Vanessa
When he's sleeping.
is on the other side of the room. She seemed to be kind of sitting on a chair, like in front of a mirror, and you can see like different makeups kind of laying, and she's kind of slumped on the floor to the side.
Yeah.
And that's what you see when you come in.
Look at Leopold. Thinks about smacking him, but doesn't.
Has a huge smile on his face.
Yeah, he doesn't. He has a huge smile. Looks like he plays a skin flute anyway.
He's with your girl right now. Yeah.
Still doesn't mean anything. Walk over to Vanessa and just, I don't know, look and just sit there and think for a minute. Should probably be better off with Leopold, maybe. Probably be safer. Just have a moment to sit there and think and just.
Yeah, you can take a moment. We can go to something else. We have a moment to think about this.
Yeah.
You just stand there looking in the room. I mean, just from looking around, he's by the door, and he seemed to like he has the flute. It seems he was playing it, and she seems to be able to like doing her makeup. And she's not like dressed in night clothes or anything. She has like
Regular clothes.
like a ball gown on, really. Was there anyone that's kind of actually? Ayo, you're gonna be walking by as you're going back. Everybody else is in the house trying to meet up. Where'd you go?
I headed back to the manor.
Oh yeah, you guys went back to the manor. So you guys went back
I
to
would
the manor
like
as
to
well.
talk to Nathan if I get a chance.
Oh yeah. I mean, Nathan, he's
He was awake.
He's woken Miss Eve up, and you can talk to him. He's awake. Yeah, no problem.
Are you still planning on leaving the city?
Wait, yeah,
Where are you gonna go?
the vineyard. And he like he says that kind of like in a way like duh.
Okay.
He's like
He said, well,
I mean,
that's the safest place in the world.
he's like the emperor. He just said the emperor's dead. All the elves left.
You were awake for all that?
Yeah.
When did you wake up?
I never went to sleep. He sits there. But yeah, so this is not a good place to be. I'm getting out of here, and I suggest you do the same.
Mm-hmm.
And you can kind of see like a twinge of the wild craziness in his eye. He flinches a little bit. Miss Eve's just kind of on the ground like, oh, sleepy. And he's like, oh, wake up! Come on! He like starts grabbing the couple of bags he's packed. And he's trying to get out of the place. He's
Yeah, I'm not
obviously
stopping
leaving.
you. Go for it.
Yeah. And he gets Miss Eve, and it's like she's like kind of groggily following him, like he like grabs like there's like 4 more suitcases, and like grabs 2 of them, starts running down the stairs. Ayo, you're walking back. Yeah,
I'm headed toward the Adventurers Guild.
okay. Let me think. Are you going back to the center of town, or are you going around the edge?
Kind of the edge of center of town. Kind of.
Okay, yeah, you're just kind of going in that direction. Cool, yeah, you can go there.
I'm going to try to find Mace and try to get him out of there.
Gotcha. Okay, yeah, you can show up and you'll find him asleep, of course, as usual. You're the big, heavy snores and
I smack him awake.
you know, and you gotta smack him a couple of times because this guy likes to sleep.
You're too heavy for me to drag.
Yeah, you can get him up, no
All right.
problem. He's just like,
All right. We're gonna get out of this town. Something's going on.
He just kind of like just kind of looks around.
I smack him again.
And do you like kind of explain the situation to him, what's
Yeah.
going on? And he'll I mean, if you're like insistent enough, he'll kind of like walk with you while you're like trying to like, and he like looks around and sees the other people asleep, and he's like, oh, that's weird. And I just heard
Very weird.
heard the emperor talking.
Yeah.
We need to leave.
Kind of.
Where we going?
That's what we're gonna go. That's what we're gonna go talk about.
Yeah, I guess. Okay. He'll come with you. He doesn't seem
I'm
to
gonna
like.
try to lead him toward the manor with the rest of the guys.
Yeah, and his sister, Miss Eve, is there, so he's like, he doesn't fight
Okay.
very much. But do you go back by the center of town, or you are trying to avoid it?
Avoid it.
Okay.
Try to come back.
Cool. And you can hear in the distance, a commotion is beginning to kick up a bit as people begin to wake up and panic because everyone goes to sleep and like worry. And then but you can also hear like gruff voices kind of yelling, trying to keep the peace ish.
Mhm.
But
Okay.
it's
While I was walking,
devolving quickly.
Did Ruby go with Nicholas?
She did.
No,
Yeah.
Okay.
She did.
All right. Headed toward the manor then.
Okay. Yeah, and you guys can all arrive at the manor. What do you want to do there? Mary, you want
Okay.
to break them
Everybody meet in the den.
All right. You guys go to the den.
Okay.
Yeah.
We have to get out of town.
Well, what happened? Does everyone? Where's Azeron?
He's supposed to meet us here.
Okay. Are you back yet?
Yeah, I'm back.
Okay.
Yeah, everybody's there except for Oseron, and you're still standing slack jaw in Vanessa's room.
Just gonna take a minute and sit there and tell her, even if we were together, it would be constant fighting just because of the family I'm with, and I probably wouldn't be able to protect you anyhow. Eventually, who knows what happened. If I couldn't protect your father, then I probably wouldn't be able to protect you. And just sit there and look at her and
Single tear.
single tear. Yeah. It's gotta be like in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. It's gotta be so tear, but it looks like a diamond when it goes in the wind.
And he turned.
It goes out. I walk away, and then I look at Leopold, and I look at him, and I look like, keep real stern. Better protect her, or else I'm coming for you. Then I kick him and try to wake him up.
Hey, give him a kick.
Yeah, just give him a kick to wake up, try to wake him up so he can do his job of protecting or whatever.
And he kind of and he begins to kind of start coming to.
Yeah, I'm walking out as it's coming to.
All right. Yeah. And you head back to the manor.
Yeah, I'm heading back to the manor. now.
Okay. And on your way back to the manor, you can definitely hear that people are waking up, and there's panic, there's confusion, but you can see as you're going that the paladins are the ones running the show right now. Like they've gotten up, and they've actually disarmed. Like many of the soldiers stand up, like the Crimson Knights, and they kind of look for their swords. You can see them like it's like it's like the paladins woke up and like just started grabbing swords from the other people
Yeah.
while everybody's still asleep. You can like see like a pile of swords, and they're like kind of standing around it, and they're kind of like protecting the entrance of the crypt.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can continue going on to the manor. You can hear Titanbeard shouting out orders, and he's not mentioning what has happened, but he's like trying to take hold of the situation as best he can and establish he's the dude right now, and everybody's gonna do what he says.
Yeah. Just gonna call my Pegasus and start heading to the manor. That's what I'm gonna do.
Okay, so yeah, you get there. Everybody's in the dining room. You guys can sit down. Butler's still asleep. Dog's still asleep. They haven't woke up yet. They're starting to move a little bit as you walk through. They're kind of out in the hallway, or the den where you guys originally were. But anyway, you guys get there. What do you want to talk about?
So what happened exactly? Everything.
Osrani, you were closest.
The Archmage and Nicholas killed the Emperor right there in front of him.
Why would the Archmage betray the Emperor? What would she get out of that?
I don't know. But they killed him. And it seems
Where was Titanbeard when all this happened?
standing against me on the other side, Hammer.
Huh. Oh well.
Titanbeard protected Nicholas?
He protected where his faith, where his allegiance was, and that was against the Emperor. And apparently Nicholas wanted to end the whole bloodline of the Emperor. Because the first Emperor, he was half God. And Nicholas thinks that the whole family, the Godfrey family, is the other reason why everything's messed up. The way that it is. The humans enslaved the elves, everything. All derived from that, so he killed the Emperor.
Gosh, Nicholas sure does carry a whole lot of human guilt around with him, doesn't he?
You said that Titanbeard stood against the Emperor. You didn't say what he stood with. You just said he stood against the Emperor. What he standing with?
Still with Nicholas. He guarded Nicholas and the Archmages as they killed the Emperor. Well, Nicholas
So
killed
that's
the
what
Emperor.
they were standing for. Nicholas was standing for himself.
Even Titanbeard, I guess he felt like the Emperor needed to be killed. I don't know.
And one thing that you would remember that Titanbeard said to you that they were, this is the way to bring him back.
Yeah.
Probably speaking of Helm.
Yeah. I kill him, bring him back to this plane of existence. Don't know why.
Just from kind of you being there,
Yeah.
it'd be kind of easy to think that maybe Nicholas, during their conversation they had, that you weren't part of, you couldn't hear, that maybe Nicholas made promises,
Yeah.
to bring back Helm, maybe, and then maybe Titanbeard's stance wasn't necessarily just with Nicholas, but at least against what the Emperor was doing with moving Lady Sullivan. Maybe he didn't like it, but Titanbeard was asleep when Lady Sullivan was actually removed. So you don't know how he feels. You know, they don't really know the
Don't know.
details, but that's just
Don't
kind of
know.
what you got. Yeah.
So on top of that, I picked up the Spear of Helm. And I saw visions or, I don't know, future events. I don't know. So, which one was encased in a, was it the manor or was it Pearl Reach?
What's that?
You said something was encased in a glass bubble. Was it Pearl
was the
Reach? or-
vineyard.
It was the vineyard. Yeah, okay.
Oh,
I was making sure it was the
the
vineyard. I
big
was like,
sphere in the distance. Yeah, it's the
Yeah.
vineyard. Yeah, it's like during that time you had like this crazy
These
true
visions.
sight that you could
Yeah.
use, and yeah, you could see like the vineyard was like this strange, almost anomaly in the world, and then
Yeah.
like you could see the dragon, you could see the pillars themselves.
Yeah. Trying to relay all of that. I saw a dragon, a pillar. It was a little bit fuzzy.
Where was the dragon?
It looked like it was in Summershade or I don't know, somewhere.
Oh, you know exactly where it was. It was in Summershade.
Yeah.
Like you weren't like,
Oh.
where is that? You were like
Oh, I
Summershade.
think so. Oh, okay,
yeah.
okay.
Like,
It was in-
it's like you just knew where everything was right there.
Okay. It was in Summershade. And I saw these golden pillars. I saw some lady coming from wherever, and it was funny holding the spear. I saw everything at once, and I was everywhere at once. But even the manner, it looked like it was there, but it wasn't. But it looked like it was out of place. But at the same time, it was there. And for some odd reason, I had a hate for Miracle, and I just wanted her to die during the time.
Isn't that how you normally feel anyway?
Yeah, but this was weird, brother. This was a deep hate.
It was
Oh.
intense.
It was intense. It was a TP and a wigwam. intense. And I don't know. It's something's not right. Whatever happened in the past. Also, the first emperor, he didn't look like he wanted any of that to happen. Strangely enough.
And you kind of got this lingering feeling afterwards that the Helm is coming, and he's not happy.
Hell might be on his way back. Pretty sure he is. He won't be happy. And it looks like we're about to be in a crossfire between gods fighting.
So it sounds like we need to leave the city.
Leave the city, then what, Bill?
We still have pillars to. We still have a world to save.
True.
Dun, dun, dun.
But what? These guys that are coming back, then what? We're gonna go fight gods after we save the world?
Well, one of the
Doesn't
things that you
sound
would
like it's
remember,
our battle. Doesn't sound like they're after us.
I think one of the things during the conversation, I don't remember if it was Nicholas that said it, or Titanbeard, I think it was Nicholas that said it, that it was necessary to fix everything that was messed up. Who knows what that means?
Yeah.
Yeah. And also, if you want to make it like easier, like outside of telling it, you can still do the ring thing and just be like, here, this is what happened.
Yeah. I guess.
Yeah,
I'll
so you
just
guys-
try to make that up.
Yeah, you can kind of give everybody like leak your train of thought into everyone else if you accept it. If you kind of feel him doing it, and if you kind of want to like visit everything he saw, then you can see it as well. It's kind of like a daydream. You all just kind of go quiet and sit there and just kind of watch it happen. Much like a dream, it happens much faster. Like it's just 10 seconds, and the whole thing's just kind of you can see it all happen. It seems. Yeah. So you guys you guys know what's going on. Nicholas is taking the elves. He's left. You can hear the people outside, or it's getting loud outside. And Nathan you can hear him running up and down the stairs, and he's loading up like if you look out the front window, you can see a
Is he
carriage
taking-
outside that he's loading
Taking
up.
Penelope in the carriage.
Yep. And then the butler has come to, and he's out there. He's gonna drive him. But he looks confused, and Brucey jumps in, and they load up, and they're getting ready to go. So yeah,
Let's leave with them, and then we can head to the Undying King.
Leave with who?
Leave with Nathan and Eve.
And Eve.
Where they? You
That's easy, safe passage out of here anyway.
They're going to the vineyard.
want to go back to the vineyard?
No.
Why did the Archmage want you, Ray? Did we ever actually find that out?
I never saw her. But we have to get out, and that's the easiest way out.
Yeah, you're still wanted. This city is in chaos.
Which
There's
is, I shake my head.
yeah.
Generic guy.
Generic guy. Yeah, generic
Number
guy.
two.
Disguise. This one's got brown hair.
If the Archmage is with Nicholas,
Is she?
I would believe so.
we saw that in.
We saw her.
She was
Saw
helping
that in
Nicholas.
Disney.
Yeah.
I saw her leave, right?
I thought it was
Was
just.
Did I see the Archmage leave with
I
Nicholas?
thought it was
Uh,
just Nicholas Ruby in the coffin.
You saw her open a portal, but you never actually saw her
Oh,
leave. But she
okay.
never.
We saw the
Yeah, you saw the
transaction between her and
Yeah.
Nicholas
Yeah,
trading
she-
the staff back and
Yeah, but I asked, where is she?
Yeah. Well, you guys never saw her leave the
Yeah, I don't
tomb,
know.
and then she. No, that's before you got down there. She wasn't down there when you got down there.
Yeah,
So
she went somewhere else.
She's
She,
disappeared.
she TP'd. She teleported out.
Did she go to bot lane?
Who don't?
Yeah, but I mean, outside of all the role play right now, it's just like where you guys have a lot of different directions you can go right now. You can still go do continue to go after pillars, as Nicholas said that was y'all's job. You guys can. There's probably still a boat lingering behind that you guys can go jump on and go with the elves. You guys can go back to the vineyard with Nathan and Miss Eve. You guys can go back to Littlefort if you wanted to. What do you guys? It seems like you guys are wanting to get out of town as well, though, right?
Or-
It's getting wild here.
We can go see about that cow that's outside of the ranch that's been stuck there since episode 4.
And Mace actually goes with. He's loading up with Nathan and Miss Eve. He's
Yeah.
going with her. So yeah. Or we can marinate on it a while, and you guys can decide later.
I really think we should leave with them.
And then what? So we'll go to the vineyard and then just
No,
have
I'm not
more
saying
type
go
of
to the
thing?
vineyard. I'm saying leave the city with them.
Oh, yeah.
That
Yeah.
way we're all guaranteed pretty much safe passage out of
Out,
the town.
yeah,
anyway.
out through the gate.
Yeah, I failed to mention the cart they're loading up is the same cart that y'all rode into town on. Nicholas's very fancy.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Oh.
that dude never left. He's still hanging around. He's yeah. I forgot about him. He's still there. Yeah, it's him driving,
Limo
not
cart.
but the butler's going with him as well. Yeah, so the Mercedes of carts is out there. Plenty of room if anybody wants to go.
It would just it would be hard for me to ignore Nicholas and not know his intentions while we go off and do this. I
Well,
almost
I-
want to know what.
We've never known his intentions.
I believe that he wants to lead the elves back and help the elves. I don't think he's given us any reason to not believe that that's what he wants to do.
To
It's
help
been
the elves
his-
what?
To go back to where they were before the war. To rebuild their beautiful city.
And they had to kill the emperor to do that.
He could.
Well, yeah, the emperor was the one who enslaved them.
He
Not
wasn't
this
the-
emperor, but the emperor's father or grandfather or whatever.
They're free. They've been free.
They could have left any time out of the city.
Did they look free in the slums?
They were
Scrounging the
still-
loot?
Treat them like free people.
They could have left.
Yeah, they are.
They've had
They could
their
have done it before.
They
They've
could
had
have
their-
left and went to their home. Is
Yeah, they
what
could've
I'm
left
trying to
it.
say.
They
They're
were
doing
free.
it now.
And
Yes,
they could have done it
and
before.
why now?
They could have done it before.
That is exactly what I want to know.
I don't think they would have been able to do it before. If they've had years and years and years of enslavement, their culture and identities from all of, like, that's all been ripped away from them. They probably didn't even know where it was. Did you know where it was? It wasn't in any of our history books. All of the books have been written by the victors, who were the humans. So they probably have no idea where their original city was. All they've heard is stories passed down. Now they actually have someone guiding them. It makes a lot of sense to me why they're all following through. Plus, also, did you hear his speech? It was goddamn.
So he-
She
convincing.
did like the
He's
Very
speech.
good.
Yeah.
Really.
So he's
fucking
just
good
taking
speech.
them back and they're going to build houses and live there. That's all? He killed the emperor.
That's what we did for Haimo. We built him a house for his family to live.
Well, how come they just didn't leave before and just say, "Eh"? I ain't
They
gonna
didn't.
do
No
have
one
a
else
place
feels
to
like
go.
war is on the brink.
Yeah, brother. But on the
Nobody
godly-
else.
On a godly level, I'm just letting you
Between
know.
between two, like who though? Between Nicholas and who? Who do you think's on the other side?
The humans. He goes. He
But
takes them back
who's
to
going to be
city.
the next leader of the humans?
That I don't know, Bill. They go back. They build an army. Who knows? Then they enslave the humans. Then what? Then we're right back at square one.
I feel like the elves are naturally peaceful, kind people, or at least all of my experiences with them have been.
Thank you.
Oh,
I guess living in this world, you guys would know that Emperor Liam Godfrey had 3 sons: Grant, William, and Elliot. Grant being the oldest.
No, he didn't. He had 2 daughters. You just threw that in there.
No, this is the very
That's
first.
the first one. That's
The
the
very
first one.
first page, he
first
has 3 sons. I told you that he has 3 sons that stay in Summershade,
Mm.
and then his 2 daughters came to Pearl Reach.
All right.
Yeah, that was like episode 2.
Go back and watch the DVD of that one, man.
That's a VHS,
It's a
man.
VHS. Yeah, okay, go back and watch that.
In the original world, yep, he's got 3 sons, 2 daughters, a wife that's got the same name as
Yeah, the wife and the daughter's got the same name.
yep. And then there's Sebastian right there. Yep.
Oh,
Old school. But anyway, so what do you guys want to do?
Well, if Nicholas is leaving, then that doesn't seem like he's seeking vengeance on the Godfrey children.
Yes. If he has 3 sons and he wants to kill the lineage, how do you do that? Start at the head and work your way down. He kills the sons. He's gonna eventually come back for him.
Yeah. Well, you also remember that the Archmage was the actual one that killed him.
Yeah, that too. But they're gonna eventually hunt down the whole entire family. You just can't kill their father and expect them not to have some kind of vengeance
And
against
as you say
Nicholas.
that, you kind of have a vision of Vanessa in your head.
Oh man, we'll just cross that bridge when it comes.
As you remember, her last name is Godfrey.
Yeah,
as well.
we'll just cross that bridge when it comes. But
None of that matters if the world ends.
that's true.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
It should be clear what we should be doing.
And what's that?
We're gonna fix these pillars and save the world, or there won't be a world.
I told you that as you was about to, I don't know, partake and leave, go home with.
We don't know who's
I'm still
Which I
going.
second. We should do that.
So your vote's to leave.
To go to the elf.
You wanna go to the elf
homeland.
place?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my vote.
You want to go to the elf place?
All right. Well, you want to go to the elf place? How about where do you want to go?
Do you really think that you'll be welcome there? That we'll be welcome there?
Absolutely not.
Well, they are
The elves
they are
will.
being led there by a human though. So
One that we have ties to.
yeah, you all as you hold both rings up, the Hayes family ring and Nicholas's ring. Well, Oscar, what do you want to do?
Yeah, I feel like we got to do the. We need to do the.
You want to continue with the pillars?
Yeah, the pillars.
Okay. Oscar, what do you think needs to happen?
Because I want to follow Nicholas just to make sure he won't hurt the people.
Yeah.
You do
We'll
want to
go
go
there.
back home?
We'll go there a bit. Eventually, we'll go.
Yeah, we'll make our way though. Let's just hope it's in due time. And
They're not gonna raise an army in a day.
No.
Hopefully, who knows? But if that's the case, either way, even if we did go, we still have to save the world, regardless.
Yeah,
The
that's
world.
what we've been saying.
I've been doing it.
And Matt, what did you want to do? You want to keep going after the pillars?
Yes.
Okay. Mary, what did you think?
Yeah. Let's do the pillars, then we can get on our own boat and
Yeah.
Fine.
And as you say, they really thirsty. Really thirsty. And you kind of have memories of the skeleton and talking about the king of the north and the undead king. And then all of you passed this sword through each other. And
Feeling a bit parched.
you kind of feel like your lips getting pretty dry as well.
Oh yeah.
All right.
chapstick.
And
About this old king. So we gotta take care of that first.
Is that a pillar? I mean, no one had heard of
The druid told us, right?
Undying King.
the Undying
the
King.
druid
Yeah.
told you about the undying king. Just thinking about it, the Waxius or whatever. He's the necromancer king to the north. The undying king is the message you get from the bird to the north. And you kind of have like a little crude map of where it is. And then Oseron, if you kind of try to focus and on your memory of what you saw, you can kind of almost pinpoint where this place is. Kind of, it's not, you can't like be like right here on the map, but you can
because I picked up the spear, I kind of just
you kind of like have not like a mental map, but you can
like I
you
have an
kinda-
idea where it's at.
You kind of have a pretty good idea of the direction to go.
Oh, boy.
All right, let's get in this chariot. Let's have safe passage exiting the city, and then Nathan and Massive and Mace can continue on their way to the vineyard, and we'll part ways and make our way to the Undying King.
Okay,
Seems like a
Do we all
plan.
agree?
so you guys want to do?
Yeah.
All right. Well, then you guys can like alert them to wait. You come in with them and get your things in order, get your stuff together, hop a rod and ride out of town. And as you guys are leaving, you can see that there's other noble houses are getting their stuff. Like they've woken up and they can hear what's going on. They're also packing up and trying to get out of town. Unknown what's going to happen as kind of the word's getting around that the emperor's dead and that he incurred the wrath of Helm and the paladins are enforcing a martial law and they're trying to get out ahead of that before they shut the whole town down. But you guys are able to get out. Like there's no one even guarding the gate. They're all like focused in their town. You guys leave the town, leave the city, and we'll stop there for tonight. All right. Woo! Boy.
Heavy!
All right. Well, thank you guys very much for watching Charisma Plus episode 34. We got a lot of stuff set up this episode. It wasn't much fighting or anything going on, but there's a lot of things happening in the world. You guys kind of have a direction you want to go, and these things will continue to kind of affect each other, and you guys will revisit all these things and see them through. But until then, yeah, the Emperor's dead. The Archmage has betrayed him. The High Paladins betrayed him. You got this feeling that there's this kind of tantrum screaming baby in your ears still going off.
Still screaming. I still hear it.
Yeah, you can still hear it. It's just kind of
My
faint,
God.
but you can hear it. It's just kind of annoyance now at this point. But yeah, we'll see you guys next Saturday night at around 7 p.m. Central, and we hope you enjoyed it. If you got a fan or anything you want to send us, hashtag Charisma Plus on Twitter. We'll see y'all later. Bye.
Yeah.